got to look at it. That individual is now the son. Everything else revolves around that. As
Mm.
far as financially, before I had my children at a young age of 20. So prior to me graduating from high school, I was making a certain amount of income. But once my children got there, it it always seemed like every time you get more responsibility, and this is how my life meant, money
Somehow,
skyrocket. Yeah,
somehow,
somehow the
some way.
money always comes. And I had two children at 20 at the same time, basically coming 6 months apart. So money skyrocketed. I got into
Somehow, some way.
construction, and I had another job dealing with in my CMT field. So it just skyrocketed. So I was always able to provide for my children. That wasn't it. It was about me being available to integrate myself, be there as a father, loving my children, making sure that my children's moms have what they need, even though that at that time we weren't together. You see what I'm saying? So that's those type of things is about availability, is about quality, and about being selfless. Now, a lot of individuals said to say they aren't selfless. They are very selfish at nature. And a lot of times, like Kasim said, these oops babies start coming in. You're just having sex out of pleasure. You don't even love the individual. You're not trying to make a baby. You're not saying, okay, if this baby come in, are you going to be happy? Do you want a child with me? And all these type of things. None of these things are having these type of conversations with people, each other. But I had these things with my children's moms. We loved each other. You know, when the children got happy, we wasn't upset. They was happy to have my child. Still to this day, they're happy to have my children, even though, you know, we have rough patches. They love my babies. Okay. So that's the first thing. So I think people should, if you have love there and you have a background from marriage and so on and so forth, and you want family, be married first. And then that's the part that I messed up. I didn't marry and then had children. Be married first, because that bring the nucleus and the family unit together cohesively, and then, you know, have the children. Secondly, I don't tell anybody to have children if you're not a person that love children. Children need extreme amounts of love. They want attention extremely. So
all day, every day.
Yeah, every day they're gonna break up. They don't care whether you're tired or anything. You gotta have that energy. The child's
bad day, good day, tired, not tired,
or your eyes open. You know, whether the diaper that got full up at night, they're gonna sit on your face. All these type of crazy stuff. Like it, man. I just had a blessing with my children, man. They were funny. They still to this day laugh. Make me laugh. 18 years ago, I love my babies. But a lot of people shouldn't be sad to say, if you don't have that type of mindset and heart, you really shouldn't be having children until you have that. Finances is going to come. If you're a working man, finances is going to come.
So now we need to have. So what you said, we need to have a parent license test.
Yes. Yeah,
for these people, because that's the only way we're gonna be able to. Because nobody's gonna self-diagnose themselves and say, "Hey, I'm not ready." They just gonna pump and pump until it happens, and somebody say, "You know what? I ain't doing this no more. I ain't going to the clinic no more. It is what it is."
But is that the reality?
Let me finish this out.
Because I also want to get Otis in there as well. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now to answer the 30-year-old thing, having children after 30, it depends. Again, it just depends on who you are. You know, I plan on having more children myself, and I'm about to be 40. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm about to be 40.
Otis, crazy
more children myself. So if you can financially be available and also be able to provide quality time, have children. I need more truths out here, man. We make the world better.
I hear you. Go ahead, OTisWho. What's your thoughts?
All right, peace to the panel. Real quick, I'll land the plane quickly. A lot of nuances to this conversation. We all know the basic stuff. You need to be financially stable somewhat. We know the average person does not make six figures. We already get that. The average people is going to be having babies is going to be within the median income or below. We already know that. I want to address the big elephant in the room that I don't think we talk about. I could talk about this now because I'm 53, but when I was younger, I didn't think like this. Basic things. Are we teaching our children, even before we spew them out, that we know it for ourselves? We're going to die most likely before our kids. So if you're not prepared to even think that way, no matter what age you have your child, if you're not raising that child to know, and you know that most likely if you're living your life correctly, you're going to die before them. So you have to teach that and instill that as you grow up. You're not going to be here when they grow up for the most part. Instill that part.
Yes, sir.
It's a cultural thing. We're not raised to know we're going to die. You have to be born knowing that you're going to leave this earth before your children. So prepare them as you grow up. That's something we need to do. Number two, not even trying to be funny, has nothing to do with money. Get life insurance.
Yes, sir.
The child is born, you're supposed to have life insurance. If you have a child or children on this earth, or earth with an F, and you don't have life insurance on your child, your offspring, you're wrong. Your priorities aren't correct. So you put all that together, to me, it's the nuances. Now I could talk like this because I'm 53. Now, if I'm 20-something or 30-something, still have that nuance. I'm most likely going to die before my children. Am I psychologically prepared to live, go forward, and prepare my life and my child life for that? And talk to my child. How many of us talk to our children about dying? The average is. So that has a big effect because we're thinking selfishly before we have kids or while we having kids. And to address real quick, and to address PH Diva, I'm not trying to start a situation, but a man does have every right and a say so when he lays down with that woman to decide if he's going to have a child with that woman. It's a conversation they both should have. It's not only the woman's deciding factor. If that woman is going to be in that man's life, they both should have that conversation. And that man has an equal amount of conversation and say in that development or upbringing or even laying down to raise that child. Men need to be careful who they pop into. First of all, be careful. Be selective who you have your baby with.
And also, before PH Diva go off, because I see her hopped off of mute. before she does her thing.
I got my parachute on, fam. I'm gonna have to jump out this plane. I got my parachute on, so I got my hand on the leave button right here. I got it ready.
You ready? I knew it was going. Oh man. Also, I want to say with the whole life insurance and everything, I also want people to understand that you also need to have some kind of probate situation set up with your bank as well, because you do not want to fight the probate laws. If you was to die, your bank account will be locked up until probate figure it out for you. You don't want that as well. So I just want to throw that in with the life insurance. And before PH Diva and before Kasim pulls the eject button.
About to be a situation.
Shout out to Brownsville, New York. He said between 30 and 35 is the perfect age. I had my first kid at 31 and my second at 32. Peace and love. And also, Omar Smith, would you like to read this one, PhD, before you go off?
Certainly. Omar Smith, morning, PH Diva. Good morning, Omar.
Hey, baby girl.
No. So I agree that, producing a baby or a child is a process. There are multiple steps in that process. And so I do agree that men have as much say-so as women. However, the say-so, men and women control different parts of the process, right? So if a man don't want to have a child, then, without semen, there can be no conception. And so it's up to him to control his semen, right? So if you don't want to have a child, then take every measure available to ensure that your semen does not enter that woman's body. However, once that man is, if he don't want to have a child, irresponsible enough to allow his semen to enter that woman's body, it's up to her from there. So I agree. Men and women both have a say-so in whether a child is produced. I just think that say-so comes at different points in the process. So men have it on the front end, women have it on the back end.
Agreed.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Control your fertilizer. That is hilarious.
About to be a situation.
Lamar Black Attack, he says, with the Yoda Gochu, arigate, land your people. Understood. I think, but I think with the finance part is a very slippery slope because most people that's going to have children ain't going to have the finances. They just not.
That's the majority of the world. Majority of the world is populated by people who are in the median, well below.
Yeah, because unless we're gonna come to some kind of consensus, and we gonna say we need parenting license, and to get this parenting license, you want to have some parenting insurance. You gonna have to have, just in case your kid is a degenerate and it's gonna be painting spray paint all over the subway. Like, we're gonna have to, it will turn this shit into a whole big thing. However, it might make for better children. It might make for more intelligent genes out there in the world, and we might be able to present a possibility of more geniuses out there in the world if we did have parenting license, just like how we have marriages license. It's possible.
I'm about to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to We Unlock Nates with the 5-bar. Where are those people? Shout out to the intelligent men and women on the town. Appreciate that. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, Otis Smith made a great point, and you could change a lot of this where where the kids can have kids at a younger age when you leave generation wealth, like life insurance, stuff like that, where they can have they can have kids young because they got money. They got money because their parents died, and they'll have a house that they don't have to pay mortgage for 30 years plus. They have money in the bank account. The parents left them something. So we do have to think about that. Leaving generation wealth, life insurance, houses, money in the bank, like stuff like that. So that's I didn't even think about that. I think with OTisWho podcast, that was a great point.
So now also I want, go ahead, PSD, before I want to move it up. Go ahead.
Okay, because I just wanted to address that point as well. There was actually a study done recently, maybe in the last year or two, and it was on the differences in attitudes of like parents. And so it showed that Black parents or older Black people think that their children are supposed to provide them with financial support rather than the other way around. So there's not a lot of focus on those things you were just talking about, Otis, right, the life insurance. Whereas in the dominant community or white people, the parents were still believed that it was their responsibility to provide financial assistance to their adult children, right? So it's kind of flip-flop
Right.
for us. And so that's why a lot of times there isn't that focus on doing things that'll leave generational wealth.
You are correct.
Great point. Yeah, great.
Hey, Sean, can I piggyback off her?
Go ahead, piggyback, do your thing.
Yeah, because we in our community we adopt two mindsets. It's either we kick the children out at 18 or they in the house paying bills. And instead of them, learning to work, learning what money is and how to use it as a tool, and to save their money so that they can be ready, prepared. Let's say somebody, the children stay, they go to college for 4 years from high school. They get out 22, 3 years, they out. They've been working all the way through. All that money they can save up. And by that time, you're talking about, let's say somebody, gets married at 25 and then they have a child. You don't think they will be financially ready within 7 years if done the proper way?
Maybe. Strong possibility. It is. So now my thing is this. So now if most people, because it seems like people are waiting later, right? More people waiting later to have children. People are waiting to their 30s and 35 to have children. Luckily, we understand science a little bit better. So women, if they keep their bodies straight and intact, they can have babies well up into their 40s now without seeing like any hiccups at all lately, right? And also men, they taking the responsibility of getting vasectomies and they waiting, they freezing their sperm. So now the next thing is this. So now we have a whole community saying that you should not be a step parent at all, stepmother or stepfather. Like that is a big thing. And then we got somebody like Russell Wilson. He's saying God told him to be a stepfather to Sierra's son. He said God told him to take that responsibility. I ain't lying. This is what he said. He said God told him to be a stepfather to that child. And so now what I'm saying is this. So if we are telling people to wait until later, till they financially ready, till they mentally ready, or we're gonna have to change this whole rhetoric of dating people with children. Because if you wait later, most likely your dating pool is gonna be people with children.
So So let me start there. So that's actually a great point. Most people by that time have children. You feel what I'm saying? And we're talking about multiple children at that.
Shit.
So that's yeah. So this is why when saying do try to hone in on a specific age or time is really redundant. It's kind of crazy. As
What's
far
your
as go ahead, what you about to say?
no? I thought you was done. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So as far as the stepfather thing, it's a beautiful thing. Those who been in the Boys and Girls Club,
Okay.
coaches. I've been coaches for football teams, basketball teams. Participated for my daughter's soccer teams, coached her soccer teams, all this type of
That
stuff.
ain't stepdaddy though.
Yeah, no, but
Part time.
however,
Way
no,
different.
hold on,
Way different.
hold on for a minute.
Right after
Hold
you
on.
two, I want to go with
I get the
Kasim.
correlation.
So
Keep
go
going,
ahead,
keep
Truth. Go ahead,
Thank you.
Truth.
Those of us,
Land your
yeah,
plane the way how Lamar said it. So go ahead, Truth, and then we
yeah,
go
I'm gonna
Kasim.
land this. So that's a starting point. If you're actually invested, those I've been to stepfather twice.
Mm.
See what I'm saying? So those who are investment, it's the same correlation. Are you going home with that child? No, most of y'all ain't living with women anyway. You see what I'm saying? The women ain't living with you anyway. So
Damn.
when you actually living with a child, that's different. If you're out here coaching and you're investing and you doing homework, taking these children to school, even sometimes feeding them, that's the same thing. A lot of you don't even do that for your own children,
Shit.
let alone somebody else. So I'll leave it at
Goddamn.
that.
Go ahead, Kasim.
I think we need to just accept the real world and how things are and come with the expectation that a woman within a certain age group, more times than not, she's gonna have a child. That's
Mm,
just the way it is. I think if you start from that premise and quit operating in delusion,
mm,
right? Especially if you want to confine yourself to a specific type of woman, right? Because if you confine yourself to a specific type of woman, your dating pool is even smaller than that. And I think that you know, um, it's a personal and individual thing. I'm not knocking stepdads because I had a stepdad, as well. There are some men
good point.
that genuinely love children, right?
Mm,
They are so eager to impart their knowledge into the next child or to the next generation that it kind of overwhelms them. I think we as men, we want to do that. We want to pass on any kind of knowledge that we have to younger ones, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a coach. Just men intrinsically want to pass on our knowledge, a little bit of our legacy onto others. And I think that's what the real important thing is. I don't, I'm all for stepdads, those individuals that understand the reality of saying, hey, listen, the main goal is for me to have a really nice relationship, peaceful, healthy with a woman. If she happens to come with kids, then that's just what it is. But if I just focus on the wellness of the relationship and do the best I can, imparting good values and characters and principles in this child, it could work out for the better, and the world could be a better place.
I want to go with PA's Diva. Let's get one of the flight attendants in there. We go PA's Diva, and then we go OTisWho and 651 right after. Go ahead, PA's Diva.
Again, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot of thoughts on this topic, but I think it's very individual. If, like Russell said, God, told him to be a stepfather, and from all outward appearances, at least, it seems like he's a great stepfather. I see the boy with him more than I see him with his own mama, and certainly his own father. But
Right.
if a man
Exactly.
is willing to do that, and he's a decent man and can be a good role model, or male figure to those children, then I think it's a great thing. I think a lot of the things that we're saying now, if previous generations had lived by those rules, most of us wouldn't be here, right?
Mhm.
So if everybody had to be financially stable, able to, give all this love or have all this time to devote to
Exactly.
children,
Mhm.
all these
Exactly.
different things we're talking about, most of us wouldn't be here,
All this
because it
stipulation.
just doesn't, it
Mhm.
hasn't worked like that. So I mean, we certainly want to strive for improvement, but at the end of the day, people are still people, and they're gonna do things and make mistakes, and try to fix it on the back end. So I think being a stepfather is, if you're, like I said, a decent man and a good male figure, I think it's a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
Great point. I also, before Otis go, I want to welcome to the show, the Trigger Mike Show. Go ahead, Otis Who podcast. We're gonna go Otis 651, and then Trigger Mike. You do your thing.
Okay. PH Diva. I love conversating with you, by the way. I love it. Don't know what you look like, but I just love talking to you. Now, check this out. A hypothetical situation.
Goddess.
It all depends on, okay, put it like this. If I'm dating you and you have children and your children is already active in their father's life, and I'm dating you, I like you, I love your kids too, but if that father's already active, I'm not trying to be their stepdaddy. There's no need for that because I'm not trying to step on the father's toes. I'm a man. I know there's ego involved. There's all that in play. I don't want their perception of him trying to think I'm trying to overstep my boundaries. Now, if the situation is whereas he's not in the household, like let's use the Future and I forgot the Russell Simmons situation. Future rich as hell, but he's not in his son's life. He's not. Russell is the guy, he wants to come in, he loves kids, he feels that's his responsibility. Now, if Future was in his son's life on a regular basis, picking him up on the weekends, sending that private jet to pick him up and he's there with him, Russell would be like, I'm just here for Sierra. I'm here for you too if you need me, but Future got you. That's not a bad thing. Know the situation, know what you're coming into. I'm not trying to step on the stepfather, the actual father's toes. Now, if I know for a fact he's not there and I know what I'm getting into, then I'm going to do my job because I love her and her children. That's what I would say. And I'll land the plane there.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, I want after PH, I want to respond to.
I don't want to skip Mitt, but go ahead, PH Diva.
So I hear what you're saying, but in a practical sense, it still doesn't quite work like that, right? So you say if Future's sending the jet and the boy is spending weekends with him, that's still just weekends. It's 7 days in a week. So 5 days out of that week, that boy is gonna still be in the house with that other man, right? The stepfather. And so that stepfather is still likely to have a whole lot of influence over that boy, right? Because just in terms of the difference in time that he's going to be spending with his real father versus his stepfather.
Damn, PH Diva. Shit.
No, so I think that it's important for in those situations for the two men, when you have those involved fathers, for the two men to come together and talk about these issues and work out how they want to approach different things so that everybody could be on the same page and it could be seamless for that child.
Right. Yes.
I don't need to go now, Sharon. I concur with her. That's what I was about to say.
I also want to welcome to the show Ronald 804. Go ahead, 651 Mint, and then we go Trigger Mike.
Well, if God, I don't get in between if somebody said God told them to do something. So if he said God told him to be a stepfather, God told him to be a stepfather.
So you're not going to be asking if he had a smoke before he heard his voice or nothing?
I don't think Russell
not a burning bush.
But Sharon, you absolutely right. When I was in my 20s, I wouldn't date a woman with kids. I wouldn't date. If she had a kid, I wouldn't date.
Damn.
I'm 43 now. I'm 43 now. I have come to accept that likelihood, if I ever decide to get married, I'm probably gonna be a stepfather. Like, even if the kids are grown, and I look at stepfather as when you decide to marry the woman, you become the stepfather. It is what it is. We can get all in anecdotal like this and that, but once you marry the woman, you become the stepfather. So I have accepted that, I likelihood be a stepfather. I don't have no kids, but I likelihood to be a stepfather. But I would not date a woman with babies. I prefer the kids to be like, mid-teens or pre-teens or whatever, so they know who their father is, and I can just come in and just be who I am and just vibe or whatever. But most black men in our community will become stepfathers because we got a lot of broken homes in our community, right or wrong. So most black,
wrong.
Hey, Sharon, after he goes,
we don't have a lot of single mothers in our household.
Let me step in.
In our community.
I think that's in all communities. It's not just our community.
Okay, well, most men will be likely become stepfathers.
All right, good. And then right after that, I want to Trigger Mike, and I want to also introduce Ronald as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, literally 10 seconds. Since you don't have children, I wouldn't suggest you to be with a child, a woman with children.
Damn.
And two, the first stepfather was Joseph.
True,
So Christ.
hold on, true love. I'm gonna be with anybody that keep my peace mentally.
I'm
So
talking.
if I have two women, hold on. If there's two women
Mhm.
and one woman don't have any kids and she a hellraiser, and there's another kid with two kids and she will keep me mentally stable, I'm going with that woman. I'm at a point in my life I want peace in my life.
It ain't
So,
about
you know,
it ain't about the woman. I'm talking about
what
you.
is it about?
It's about you living with
Talk
a
to me.
woman, being with a woman and with other with children, and you have not been living with children. You have not had this type of experience. That's a big ass responsibility in a whole totally different type of mindset.
I
And
don't
that's why I
heard that
said
before.
Hey,
a
Mick,
lot of
let
times
me ask you
stuff
this.
will
Go ahead.
change.
Who said that? Somebody
It will change
talking
up.
to me.
Mick, let me ask you this.
What's up?
Are you comfortable with another man? Because I think Otis kind of hit on it a little bit. When stepfathers are supposed to be the exception, not the rule. You have to pick one.
Mhm. Yes,
This,
correct.
every time we talk, we are making the case for intact family. Keep your family intact, or else you got to deal with this bullshit. All right, now think to yourself. It's more natural for us as men to want to be the head of our own family, not to merge a family. You actually, if you love the woman, all that's great and all, right? But you already know naturally another man has dominion over that household. Are you comfortable with another man being able to send a text message and you and your wife are having a great night drinking wine and now she's upset because her baby father sent her a text message? That is the equivalent of another man having dominion over your home. Now, that's not always what happens, but that's where you run the risk. You run the risk of those situations with the baby father. He wants to throw a fit. He wants to see a kid. He's showing up at the house. You can avoid all of that. You can avoid all of that.
I disagree with what you're saying.
You right, Trigger Mike. But I have admit I have played house, and I was shacking up with a lady with a kid before, and we didn't have that problem.
How long
we didn't
was
have
that?
problem.
Hold on.
Before
we get into the shacking up conversation, right? Before we get into playing house,
Plain
I don't
house.
think if your woman get a text message from this horrible baby daddy that is going to ruin your dinner night. If anything, it's going to make you look even better. It's going to make you look better as a man because you're like, hey, babe, don't you worry about that. We drinking our wine. We going to handle that when we need to handle that. Don't worry about your phone. That's what
I would say Trigger Mike.
Hold on. When a woman is upset about her baby daddy, first of all, you could correct that by just even talking to your woman and saying, hey, listen, allow that man to see his kids. Why we don't want him to see his kids? Is he a detrimental
baby father?
Now she's gonna attack you, Sharon.
Baby father.
Is he a horrible person to be around our child?
I mean, you've been a
Sharon,
stepfather.
That kid is your child now. So now
You've been a stepfather, Sharon?
Let me respond to him since he's talking to me. Okay, so Sharon,
let me finish my goddamn statement. But go ahead. you clearly
let me respond.
Just what I was saying before I said it, because
that shit that you just said was the most unrealistic thing I've heard all day. and I've been listening about 30 minutes. So remember, you're talking about a woman and her children. If she's talking to her baby's father, they are talking about the children. That is the one thing that will get a woman emotional. Right off the rip. If there is any disagreement about what needs to be happening or he should have picked them up, if you jump in it, she gonna jump on you. She's not gonna agree with you. Do you know
so Trigger Mike? I'm sorry to tell you, that's not how those conversations happen. Not even close.
It don't always be like that.
It's not even close. Those conversations do not happen like that. Not even close. What happens is if you are in a good, stable relationship with a woman, she has child or two children. And you taking care of everything. And this dude says, hey, I need to see the children. I didn't see them in 2 months. Usually it's a reason behind that. And he don't even have he texts that shit like, this motherfucker over here texting, talking about he want to come see the kids. And you going to say, baby, don't even worry about that. We handle that shit in the morning. We know he's full of shit. if he's a full of shit dad. But if he's somebody that's involved in the family, be like, hey, we just have a conversation, let him know he could come pick the child up next week. We share schedules. Because when we talk about people that co-parent, they don't have these goddamn issues. Now, the men that you are talking about, the ones that is trying to cause problems within the relationship, those men don't get no respect in the relationship. So the women do not even get upset. They just like, can you believe this dumb motherfucker? Look what he said. And then you like, yeah, let's get a drink to that and let's keep it fucking moving. And you're gonna get more vagina.
And I can relate to
you're gonna get more back rub. It's gonna be better for you.
Sharon, you just made an assumption that the baby daddy has an issue, right? So what I'm saying is
not me.
Hold on. I'm saying that, remember, this is why this is another case for intact family. When you have families that are out of balance, you have issues that aren't supposed to present themselves. The baby daddy may not be a problem. He might have just got a call from the school about the report card and wants to discuss it, but she wants to isolate him out of the it could be a myriad of things he's trying to check on his kids on, right? So you're acting like he's causing a problem. Maybe she's embarrassed because the kid got a bad grade, right? And her these are not bad situations. We are fathers. We hear from other fathers that are going through this, right? We have to talk about the reality of the situation, not just the best case scenario like you're talking about. This is the reality that's happening in America. Wait. So how can we say this with all of this divorce, all of this discourse, all of this men in jail, all of this violence against men and women, but yet it's always good news or business as usual when these co-parents talk to each other? No, co-parents have very contentious relationships in this country. Ask the court.
Most people that gotta go to court, they do not have good court parenting skills. that's not the case. People that gotta go to court is usually because they can't co-parent. That's usually how that works. People that co-parent, they keep they got their business out the court. So Kasim look like he has something to say. You got something to say about this part right here, Kasim?
No, man, I'm just listening.
Go ahead, Otis. I know you got something to say, and Rana, I'm not skipping you. I did not forget you, Rana. Go ahead, Otis. And I got
real quick. I would just like to just keep in mind and suggest that we keep the scenarios always around the law of averages. There's always exceptions to the rule. I'm pretty sure what Sharon said, that he reacts when the phone, I'm pretty sure that's true. But what's the law of averages? How many people can we reach out and touch? We know for a fact the majority of these couples are, quote unquote, for lack of a better phrase, dysfunctional, whether it's the mother's fault or this is the deadbeat father. Facts. We already know that. So I want to deal with
that's not even a question.
Scenario. We always know about the exception to the rule. I consider myself to be one. I'm pretty sure Sharon feels he's the exception to the rule. I'm pretty sure just by me looking and being around Kasim this short time, I'm pretty sure he's an exception to the rule. But what's the average? That average person that's sitting at the dinner table when they get that phone call from the baby daddy. What's the average? Let's talk about that. And that's what I believe the panel is mainly talking about. Those assholes, whether it's the baby mama or the daddy.
So that's a great point. Yeah, that's a great point. Because off rip, if the times I have dated women with kids, if I sniff any baby daddy drama, I'm gone. I sniffed that shit. Yep. I'm gone. So the women I was, the young lady I was playing house with, we didn't have that problem. She didn't respect that Negro. He was a deadbeat. He had a bunch of kids. She didn't respect him. You know what Sharon said? I can relate to that. She was like, look what this fool. Look what
Sharon, by the way.
Oh, sure. She like, look what this fool. He talking about he gonna get the kids, and he know he's not gonna get this. He's not gonna get. Yeah. So I can relate to that. But it wasn't instant while I was dating. It was a little while, and she like, oh, my baby daddy did. I'm like, oh, I think I don't want to be in this situation because I don't want to have to be getting in the situation and somebody get hurt, and it won't be me, and I got too much to lose. So I will get out that situation. Now,
So that's the thing that they not understands that usually the women that have problems with their baby father, they don't have that many interactions with him. He's not texting.
They don't. It's not. He's not
texting in the middle of the night. He's not texting when you at dinner. It's usually.
I'm glad you said that.
People that have those issues is because they still dealing with each other on some level.
Yeah.
It ain't the one that moved on. So the people that move on from their relationships, they do not have these issues. And most people
most of them are
from
dealing with each other, Sharon.
And
you
as
talking
the men,
If
as
most
the
fathers
men,
are present
you got
in their
to take
child's
yourself
life, they
out
are
that
dealing with it.
situation.
What do you
No,
think?
As
but
a man, you got to take yourself out that
what
situation.
me and Mitt are talking about dealing with them, we talking about dealing with them is going on dates, hanging out,
Yeah.
fucking, and all that shit. Dealing
let
with
me-
just the child. When you're just dealing with your child, you just dealing with your child. Hey, you're gonna call that respectable times. You're gonna set schedules. Hey, what's your schedule like? Can I come and pick them up on Saturday? Can I do this? Can I do that?
can
You're
relate
gonna
to
be
all
very
that.
respectable. So that whole this bad situation that you're gonna get a text message when you're on dinner dates. No, that doesn't happen with people unless it's already a
emergency.
dysfunctional
It's
human
an
being that you are
emergency.
dealing with.
Hey, Sharon, let
This
me
is
tell you
emergency.
something. Let me tell you something right now. I will always, if I choose to, have access to my children's mom. And they're in relationships. If I was that type of guy, I could.
Mhm.
I
Because
could.
he's a good dad.
Yeah, but also
Good
you're not
dads
calling.
always
But
have
also
access.
you're not calling them at 3 a.m.
No,
Good
because I
dads always
choose
have
I
access.
choose not to, and there's still an emotional connection there. It doesn't. The thing is, what a lot of people don't understand, when you have that baby, that shit is different.
No,
That
but see, here's
baby
the problem, True.
is different, bro.
The problem,
This
True,
is what
because
really
we're
happens.
not
You're not
talking.
You,
True, the
we're not
problem
talking
is
about
that
this. You're not a fucked up
Trigger
dad
Mike is
either.
not talking about that
You don't.
situation. He's
Yeah,
talking about
you're
a
not a
different
fucked up
situation. He's
dad.
not talking about healthy co-parenting. He's not talking about that. He's
Yeah.
painting it as if you have a baby father, you're dealing with somebody
Yeah.
that has a baby father, that they are connected in a way where he could just call her, text her, and all of a sudden she's mad and upset, and then that's going to ruin the whole
But
date.
let me
That
let me
doesn't
say
happen
this.
in real life.
This
Let me
dude
say
used to
this
call me
differently.
and like, yo, could you tell so and so to
Hold
pick
on.
up the phone because she's not picking up my phone call?
Let
Yeah,
me say
you call
let me
me
say it in a
acceptable.
different way. Hold on, let me
Yes,
say it in a
yes.
different way. Let me say this in a different way. So I think you can look at the remarriage rates, the rates of remarriage, and what women have the highest rates of remarriage. Widows have the a higher rate of getting remarried because the other man is completely out of the picture. You see what I'm saying? So
No,
men
I don't see what
actually
you're saying.
men actually do or will accept a woman with children or all of that type of stuff because the other man is completely out of the picture.
Not true.
Right? The widows do have the highest rate of
Hey,
remarriage.
listen, both the women that have my children, they both are married.
Dog,
I'm a
so
living
you
proof
are
that, I'm living proof that your rhetoric is remedial.
that's not I just told so
I'm living proof of it.
break it down. Dog,
Guess what?
you
Guess
are
what? I got another
one
homie.
person.
I got another homie. He got children with his wife.
Stop using your homies,
Hold
Sharon.
on, because y'all don't want to use real life, right? We could use celebrities. then I
Nigga,
can
I'm
use
using real life. I'm talking about
right?
me.
So hold on. What I'm saying is
I don't
this.
talk
Wow, you
vicariously through
If
other
I can
people.
use a celebrity, why I can't use a real person that I know, right?
always
I
use
don't
my
even
experiences.
understand that correlation, right? I also know, dude, he married, they got
Possibility.
divorced, they had children. Guess what she did? She got married. He's still in
You're
his children's
talking
life.
about
And
possibility versus
I got plenty of
probability.
examples in real life, in real time, that is going against everything that you're saying.
Dog.
But none of them has you in it, though, right?
Say that again.
None of them has you in it.
Yes, I gave you two.
I
I gave you two examples of me in it, actually physically in it.
Okay, so you was with a baby mother.
The question.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about it's affecting you. You're with the mother of the child. That's what I'm saying. If
But
that
that's not
ain't
what
it,
we're
that
talking
don't
about.
count.
We talking about baby mothers and how you shouldn't date them because the baby father is going to ruin your relationship because he has some kind of control.
And I'm talking
over
about
their
you
new
being on the end that
relationship.
Mitt was.
What I'm saying
You
is this,
wasn't Mitt. That's what I was talking about. You're not him. He can talk about it, but you are speaking about stuff that you heard, not experienced.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
No, what I'm saying is this. I'm a baby father at one point in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And both those women wound up getting married, and I was heavily involved in my children's life.
Okay, so you're the baby daddy. So you're talking about the baby daddy on the opposite side. He's not the baby daddy. That's what I'm saying. You're speaking from two different experiences.
But Trigger Mike says once that baby. So what I'm saying is Trigger Mike is having a case. He's saying that you should never date a woman with children because this father is always involved in your relationship. Is what Trigger Mike is painting.
I never said never.
I never said that.
He never said
Stepdaddy
never, but that's
are
what
He's
he's
saying for the
saying.
mo-
But
I think he was saying for the
he
most
he
part.
might not have used. All right, listen. He might not have.
He's
used
saying
the
for the
word
most
never.
part. I think he was saying
He
for the
might not
most
have
part.
said never, but however, we understand what he was insinuating.
No, because what I insinuate is what I said. I said stepfathers are supposed to be an exception, not the rule. The rule is that men are supposed to start their own
Yeah,
families.
I agree.
All right,
I agree
their
with
children
Trigger
are supposed to have their own namesake and
Correct.
look like them.
Yeah,
That
I
is the
agree.
rule.
Correct.
No, that's
Yes,
not.
I agree with that.
Hold on, but that's not the rule. It's
What?
probably. It's
What?
probably more. It's
All right,
probably.
never
It's
mind.
probably more
That cannot
people.
be the rule.
Regardless of what y'all are saying, most people was raised by stepfathers somehow,
I
some
just
way.
said that.
You said most people were raised by stepfathers, so mean they came through here through what? Through their original mom
No,
and dad.
so what Trigger Mike just said that they are the
How that's not
exception.
the
They are
rule?
not. They are not the
No,
exception.
Trigger
Hold
Mike
on,
is
hold on. So y'all need to listen to what he's saying. He said that stepfathers are the exception, and they are not. They are the ones that normally raise up these goddamn children. What are y'all talking
No,
about?
most families, the children, most families that have children, the children are with their original mom and dad. Most families.
Jesus Christ, go ahead. Oh my goodness, this is
So
crazy.
that means that's the rule.
No.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to Lamar Black Attack. Yeah, Lamar Black. Let Ronald talk. I'm sorry, Ronald. We did hijack the conversation. I apologize.
Y'all went all over the place. So the original question was, say the original question again when it comes to Russell Wilson.
God damn it. You was here this whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah, going all over the place. You can attack whatever.
Okay, all
The
right.
original question was about the age people should have children. It's 30 years old. Good to have
Okay,
a child. That was the original question.
thanks. I appreciate it. I can start from
You're
there.
welcome.
All right. Me personally, there's really no wrong answer, but what I would put in there is that I believe you should get married first. You know, I believe in marriage.
Exactly.
In my situation, my first after I got married when I was 33 years old. My first child came when I was 34. The last child came when I was 43. Right, that was in my situation. Right, and it was best for me because I was in the Navy in the beginning. Right, before I got married, I was in the Navy, so I didn't have to. So I'm very
Also, Lamar
happy.
Black Attack also said, make sure you land the plane as fast as you possibly can as well.
Come on. All right. So in my situation, I was happy that during my deployments and my military time, I didn't have any wife and I didn't have any kids to worry about. So I'm happy that once I got out of the Navy, I was able to have the marriage and stuff like that. And also financially, we're in a better place now also, you know. And also when I was younger, I could, if I want to hit the clubs 3 times a week, I can hit the clubs 3 times a week. If I want to go to Miami, I can go to Miami. If I want to go to the islands, I go to the islands, right? So me personally, it was better for me to don't have any children in the beginning. Then eventually, when I got a little older and also out of the military, get married, you know, and then start the family. Do you want me to wait till I answer the second question?
So
I have a question for you, fam.
Yeah.
Do you believe that you could have uh, a better quality of life, right, for you and your wife while you still have children, or when those children kind of leave and be adults and you guys can still kind of enjoy things a little bit? You think that that would be a better scenario for you?
Or you mean like, for example, if I was to get married, if I was to get married when I was like probably like 23 years old, 24, that's what you mean?
Yeah.
It is still possible, but I would rather be single at that younger age compared to like, because I've heard stories of people getting married very you know, like they just got out of high school, they got married, but they never got a chance to have any freedom, you know, and that kind of messed up their marriage and stuff like that. So I believe in having a little bit of freedom first. You know, if you got to go to school, go to school, you know, and then eventually, you know, the kids could come later. But is there success stories your way? Yes, there's success stories your way also. But me personally, when you get older, like I'm 47 right now, my favorite club is BED. So I rather go sleep and relax and stuff like that compared to when I was younger. I could hit the clubs 3 times a week, you know. So I like the way I did it.
So,
Okay.
go ahead, Kasim, you got some more?
No, I was just thinking. You would normally gravitate to the older that you get, the better quality of life, the better substance of life that you have, right? Because first of all, you've gained some experiences, you have a little bit more income, you have a little bit more resources that's going to allow you a little bit more of freedom to really have a better quality of life versus starting earlier, right? Is when you start earlier, is that really quality? Right? Is that really substance in those earlier years, or is it just getting out these desires and things of that nature? I'm just a big believer that as we get older, the quality of our life gets deeper and it has more meaning and it has more substance. And I'd rather revel more in that versus earlier with the running around stuff. Personally,
That's a great point as well.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout out to Lamar Black Attack. I look better than Kasim.
that's a motherfucking lie.
One of the things about starting a family in your early 20s is a lot of times you might be going through that struggle love thing, you know. So that's why.
So, Kasim, what you think about this whole stepfather thing? And he's saying that stepfathers are the exception and not the rule, and that is and we know that's a lie. We know it's a lot of stepfathers out here stepping their game up, and they out here raising these damn children because people they break up for whatever reasons that they're breaking up for, and it's not as bad as people attempt to make it.
Nobody said bad.
They do have some horror stories in it, of course. However, more often than not, most people, especially the young boys, when they get older, they say how much they love their stepfather and how much they stepfather produced great things and great memories for them.
I'm one of them.
I would just because man, I'm around married people and I'm around families and stuff like that, and there are a couple of intact families, i.e., the biological mother and the biological father in the household. But I also have some really good friends where the biological parent parent is not in the household, and that's still functioning. They still get along. That's still healthy. So it's kind of, I think it's a matter of your environment, man, and what you're around and your proximity,
Exactly.
and that proximity kind of has a way of influencing what you perceive as normal or out of the ordinary.
Exactly.
I think that is a very good point. I think a lot of people, they live too much in their own bubble, and they hear these crazy conversations about stepfathers not getting respect from the young boys, and they never respect them. You see a video of a stepfather fixing a bike together, and they're like, I wanted my daddy to fix my bike, right? And they think this is what all stepfathers is going through across the world, and it's not that. Most of the time, children respect a man regardless. So if it's a stepfather in that house and he's doing all the right things and he's being a great human being, a child is going to respect that man as a great human being.
Jay Prince has entered the chat.
Hold on.
What happened?
I never heard that Jay Prince story. Jay Prince beat up the stepfather.
So
damn it.
PhD will tell you, and most women in this world will tell you, that most men is not shit. And children don't like ain't shit people. So what are you talking about?
But again, so that's what me and Kasim saying.
So hold on. So you can't say most stepfathers
if you are
living a life of luxury and good relationships because they still part of the ain't shit niggas.
So that's what me and Kasim is saying. So if that's what is a part of your what's that, your bubble of ain't shit people, they're going to be dealt with as that. So therefore, the young men are going to treat that ain't shit man the way how he deserves it.
I just said that. So that means it's the exception, because the exception is the minority. It's more ain't shit niggas out here, and the stepfathers are included in that.
That's where probably me
and most of the stepfathers are, guess what? Products of broken homes too.
So this is probably where me and you are going to disagree. I do not think that most people are ain't shit human beings. I think most human beings are good.
That's PhD. Most men ain't shit.
I also
and I agree with her on that.
It seemed like Otis has something to say to us.
I
Go ahead,
agree with
Otis.
you.
I'm going to repeat what I said earlier because, with all due respect, and I love this, it's like, damn, I love this. It's like you forgot what I had stated earlier, Sharon.
Mhm.
It's like you're falling right back into the same statement that I said. You're the exception to the rule. Kasim is the exception to the rule.
Correct.
And that's your bubble. So when someone has the opposing option of you, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I love this shit. When someone has the opposing opposition from you, your bubble gets whoa, and you really get like that. But I understand what True Love is saying. The average people ain't shit. Average. Not just to use his words. I wouldn't use that word personally, but since he used it, I'm going to use it. The average person ain't shit. But I'm pretty sure in Kasim world, I'm pretty sure the odds are, the numbers are much better on his side. I'm almost certain of it. So I see what both sides are saying. I really do.
100% disagree with you.
Of course you do.
So now we need to stop having all these conversations about bad men.
We got examples that is not the exception. We got plenty of stars that said they was raised by their step parent, how great this step parent was, and how they built them up and all this. And we got Kevin Durant. We have numerous people. We got people.
And you're talking about 450 men in the NBA, and you're talking about that's the majority.
So that shows how common it is. That shows how common it is. That it's so common that stepfathers are average that they even go and raise somebody that turns into the top 0.0001%. That's how much men are stepping up. Because we also have men that's going to be coaches. We got men that's going to be big brothers. We got all these men that's willing to help the community. All these men are part of this whole stepfather culture that y'all trying to talk down on and say if any woman have a child that you need to run away from. That is false. Ciara is a perfect example of it. Russell Wilson being a good man, he's getting great respect for being a great man,
so
and we got to start champion. And the problem is that we do not want to champion all the great men. We only want to talk about the shit that don't go well, and that is a real fucking issue for me.
Okay, so
men that is moving in the right direction, that we still.
And you want to talk about the minority?
But that's the thing. The good men are not the minority. It's the other way around. The horrible people.
So majority of men in this world,
the people that are
majority of men in this world are good.
Yes, the majority of the men in this world are good.
We have a baby mama problem, a daggone poverty problem where people are on the fucking streets. Men are in jail.
Mm-hmm.
We know all these people out here murdering, killing. We have a male problem. We have a father. I never denied that.
So here's the problem. The problem is that the people that you are talking about are the minority. The people that go to jail. The people that go to jail.
PhD, are you here?
So you saying the people that go to jail are the majority of human beings in this world?
No, I added a lot of different variables.
Okay, so the people that commit murders, the people that commit. All right, so the people that commit murders,
niggas out here creating broken homes. I was one of them.
People that commit deletions, those are the majority human beings of this world.
Did you just not hear what I said?
I'm making sure that I understand.
Okay, I'm gonna say it very clearly.
The people that are doing the deletions are the majority people of the world.
Alcohol, murder, jail, fatherlessness, broken homes, abuse, SA. These are men. All of that come to a sum total. Majority of men are bad.
That is, but you have no stats to prove that. You just talking about.
You want to bet? How much you want to bet on that?
Otis, do you agree that the majority?
How much you want? Hold on, let's bet that.
The majority of men are bad. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't use those words. I would say the majority of men don't hold themselves accountable. I'll say that.
And what does lack of accountability leads you to doing bad shit?
Because I don't want to down black men. I'm not going to say that, but you get what I'm saying. as
I'ma
a
keep it
whole,
100
we
all
don't
the
hold
time.
ourselves accountable. I'll
Keep
say
it
that.
100 all the time.
That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not being on the fence. I'm just being real. And that's me looking myself in the mirror. I'm just being real. As a whole, majority of men, we do not hold ourselves accountable. The majority of us. Because like I have to agree with what True Love is saying. Because if that was true, the total sum, not just, and stop, and I love what you're doing, but I'm reading you. Stop isolating that one point when he said murder.
Exactly.
He said more than murder. He said a whole lot of Olivia things. The total sum. That's what he said. I'm just being real.
Okay,
Now, the
so let's
total
go-
sum here is accurate. We don't hold ourselves accountable. Again, you are the exception to the rule if that's true. I commend you, sir, on everything. I ain't blowing smoke up your ass or nothing. I commend you. But on the real, that's not the average at all. The average, we all don't hold ourselves accountable. And I'm gonna land my plane.
What is the percentage of human beings in jail?
Why are you going to the jail aspect?
Because that's what we're talking about. We talking about bad people are in jail, correct?
No,
Correct?
when he says bad, he doesn't mean everybody that's in jail and stuff like that.
PhD will get them, baby.
No,
Get
I'm
'em
just,
out.
you don't have to be in jail to be bad.
Exactly.
So I think if y'all
No shit.
started with a definition of what do you mean by bad, like what makes
Okay,
a person bad? Because people are people, and so you're not going to do everything right, right?
I think bad is a very strong word to be using, because when you
Right,
said
that's
bad,
why-
you
yeah.
meant like somebody else in jail. When
Right.
he say bad, he means somebody like a man
Who stole the Snicker bar? Somebody that stole the Snicker bar is bad.
No.
Hey, General, you ready? You good?
What he means by bad is, for example, like let's say there's a couple together, they're not married, and the man might say, "Yeah, I want to have kids with you." Then after she get pregnant, and the man is out of there, right?
Jesus
I think
Christ.
that's what he means by bad.
Before you
He doesn't go to jail for that.
Before
but
you
he
move forward, I
considers that
also
bad.
want to welcome to
Correct.
the stage
That's
the
easy.
GBG General. Welcome to the show, the GBG General. How you feeling, sir?
What's up?
What's
How y'all
good?
feeling, man?
What
What's
are
going
your
on?
thoughts? Because I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
Come on, PhD. This is right up your alley. You usually tear our asses up. I'm backing you up today. Come on now. You usually tear our ass up. Don't let Sharon get away with this bullshit.
I'm gonna let y'all fight amongst each
Yeah,
other.
Sharon tripping today. I
Oh,
love
my
Sharon.
goodness.
Today.
Sharon, you
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
I rocks
Omar
with you,
I
bro.
want to read Omar
PhD, but
Smith.
But
PhD,
you-
but you read this. We need one of the beautiful flight attendants. Go ahead, PhD. Bro.
All right, Omar Smith. If the majority of people were immoral, then God would replace them with the new people, like He has done with the people before us. Check your Bible.
Woo!
Thank you.
Oh, he
Omar
is
Smith.
going to. That's why all of y'all going to hell.
Goddamn.
Oh, y'all got to go to
Not
hell.
if I repent and allow the Lord Jesus Christ to be in my heart and Savior
That's
in
why
my
y'all
heart.
going to
I'm
hell.
going.
That
Don't
part.
worry, he's going to replace the shit out you.
That
Oh
part.
man, go ahead. Hey, GBG General, what are your thoughts?
so I don't have any thoughts about this current conversation. I think y'all trying to understand each other right now. I just the thing that I think I saved it. Like I hit stop, I hit the pause button to make sure I heard right. When you said, let me make sure I'm hearing it again. You said women, or we should not really consider geriatric pregnancy a thing anymore because women today are more healthy and all of that.
Yeah,
Get
because the medicine is the medicine has improved. We know that if you are healthy, then you could clearly have children after 40. We see plenty of women having children after the age of 40 nowadays. So that's well past 35.
Well, you can absolutely have a child after 40, but is that child the most optimal?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
I think if the human being is healthy, then yes. So I think that's where it's gonna have to change. It's just like what PhD even said earlier, is that like that's really was set for a certain subset of women and not for the totality of women in America.
I would have to disagree with you on that,
So here's the
Sharon.
problem. You're saying we have to stop using geriatric pregnancy, geriatric pregnancy as remedial rhetoric.
Correct.
Because it's not that big of a deal. That is
It's
false.
not that big of a deal anymore. No.
That is absolutely false.
Yeah.
Wait. It is actually a huge deal, and as a matter of fact, it's the worst for Black women So when we start saying things like that, and we start saying something is remedial rhetoric, reinforcing the idea that that geriatric pregnancy is not a big deal, it's not that big of a deal, that's remedial rhetoric. It absolutely is a huge deal. And if you are in your 30s, 35ish, you're at risk. All right. I'm not saying
now what you think that you are at risk of?
You want me to read it to you? Because I have articles and they're all from a reliable source. The first one is coming from
Okay, you're gonna have to be able to interpret and explain these articles as well, right?
That's fine, right?
Okay,
this is Institute for Social Research, right? University of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. trend toward older maternal age, increased racial inequality, and negative birth outcomes, according to a new study, June 20th, 2023. Ann Arbor, Black and white babies are being born too small and unhealthy at higher rates than they were 30 years ago, and the racial inequality of these poor birth outcomes have increased over the same span. According to a new paper, increased maternal age is a significant contributing factor. More U.S. women are waiting until their 30s to have children, an age at which all mothers, it didn't say race, it says all, right? All inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
All mothers experience the same depletion of reproductive capacity, while Black and working class white women have suffered structurally induced threats to their health and increase the odds of an unhealthy pregnancy. That's just the first paragraph. All right. I don't mind reading the rest because it's just a summary, I guess it's the summarization of it, right? The second paragraph.
So I have a question. I have a few questions. So first off, how large was the sample for this study?
It gets into it in the paragraph.
Oh, no. All you got to do is just tell us the number.
I have to read the paragraph over. I don't have it just memorized. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
This is not All right. So analyze data mothers from first birth of 1989 to 2019.
No. What's the sample size, baby? No. We don't know that it's a lot because what they said is Ann Arbor, right? And so first off, we're going to have an issue with generalizing the results of that study to the larger population because the sample was drawn from such a small place, such a small geography, that there may be something specific to what's going on in that particular geography that would account for those results. But nevertheless, let's move on. So we still don't have a sample size, the N, right? Big N is the number of people that were in the study.
Wait a minute. Again, like I have to read through it again. I can't remember.
Okay, just give us the number.
Yeah, right. Just give me a second. I can't just tell you off the top of my head. I'm letting these things be known that actually that's not true. So just give us a sample, because in order to determine whether or not it's true, we got to establish that the results of that study are generalizable to the larger population, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And who is healthy, who is not healthy.
Whether it is. So
right, because a lot of times, and plus a lot of times people even at that are just heavy set, they have they pregnant, right?
They could go right ahead then.
They could be 30 years old and they could be heavy set and they have, guess what? Now they're going to have pregnancy diabetes. All these things is in factor when we are talking about this geriatric situation. How many of them are healthy is another conversation that we have, because we also put in the fact that people nowadays are healthier. People understand that they want to have babies at an older age. They have to be healthier. They're going to have to run. They're going to have to do their squats. They're going to have to
How many of us are healthy?
They cannot just be out there to do them. But if you are out there purposely trying to have babies in your later years, you have to make yourself healthy first. But as Chicky is reading it through so he can get his point of reference.
About to be a situation.
Go ahead, PhD. I love when you read.
All right, Omar Smith. I referred people to the Bible because most of us are Christians. The Quran and Bible have the same stories of old, and we are taught to take historical events from Jews and Christians as the truth. Orchid S. Allah Akbar.
Woo!
Omar
Shout out. I love those orange super chats. They just, I don't know. I just something about the color.
Hey, Siobhan, do we have an overweight problem in our community?
Do we have, according to BMI, we do, but not really.
Okay, so most of let me just for a minute.
That's according to BMI, but
just for a minute.
I don't agree.
Just for a minute. Just
Hey, true. All I want to say is this: they will have a woman at 5'9", 200 pounds, and you look at her, she's stacked in all the right places. She is considered obese.
Okay, so this is where I'm about to go at. So, do you know what preeclampsia is?
Yeah, educate us.
It's due to diabetes, gestational diabetes, usually which comes through pregnancy. So then you have a lot of overweight women that get this, and guess what that is? A health problem.
So, but here's the thing.
Hold on, let me finish.
Before you finish, I also want to say this. Before you finish, Truth, I got you. All I want to say is that happens with all ages, though, right? So I just want to make sure that part is clear. It's not just for a 35 and up. That happens with somebody that's at 25.
It happens all ages, but we know that.
I didn't want to stop. I just want to make sure the audience understood that what you're saying.
Right.
Also, because you have all the information, right? But some people don't. So I just want to.
So
but the key thing, just real quick. 20 seconds, Chi. So as we get older, we know we tend to gain more weight because then we become less active. This is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
As women get older, they put on more weight. They put on more fat. We have an eating problem. That diabetes caused problems to the fetus.
Mm-hmm.
Has been led to, children passing away in the womb. So that's another factor that happens among people that are 35 and older.
So that's why we was having the conversation about being healthy before we even started the whole geriatric conversation. But we are going to bring somebody that has a little bit more of maybe insight.
Majority of us are fat.
I'm going to bring somebody up. Yamagato Sororoto say Yamagate. Shout out to Lamar Black Attack. Somebody that works in the field. He might have a little bit more insight, and he give us some more insight on what we are talking about. Go ahead, Lamar Black Attack. General, you got the information that she needed?
So I don't have the information about the sample size for this particular thing.
Right.
But I do have a National Institute for Health and Care Research. That again, you can laugh. You can laugh
I'm
at
laughing
this
because y'all try to get up here and talk about research when y'all are unqualified to do so. Because even if you got the sample size for this new study, I'm gonna be able to ask you a series of questions that's gonna prove that you have no idea of what you're talking about.
Okay, so how about this then? Let's clarify this. Are you saying that a geriatric pregnancy is not a real thing and not at risk, and we shouldn't care about it?
That's not what I said at all. What I am
saying regardless of which
is not qualified.
Regardless of you saying the stat having a certain amount of sample size for your particular liking.
No, it's not my particular liking. There's something called statistical power that a study is going to have. It is your ability to detect an effect that actually exists. You need a certain sample size to be able to do that, sir. So it's not my liking at all. It's clear that you have no idea about research methodology, how to conduct a study, and how to interpret a study. It's not about my liking at all. It's about the standards of what we do in science. That's what it's called.
Liking, that's fine. If it's not about your liking, if it is not about your liking and it's a credible source coming from several different articles,
you still have to be no. It doesn't. Do you know what the waste paper basket theory? The waste paper basket phenomenon is? If you don't, then you have no reason talking to anybody about no damn study. That's what I'm telling you. You're not qualified to have this conversation, sir.
If you're telling me that I can't rely on a credible source coming from the University of Michigan,
you aren't qualified to be able to understand it. That's what I'm telling you.
But that's why they give you the information based off of the University of Michigan. That is exactly why they do that.
And if you look at medical studies, the first thing is they tend to have very small sample sizes, which is why I asked you what the sample size was.
Look, I'm not about to argue.
All right, hold on.
I'm educating you. We're not arguing.
You're not educating. You're not educating me on anything. You're not educating
what you're talking about.
You're not educating me on anything besides the fact. Besides the fact you're saying
that you don't know what you're talking about.
That I'm not qualified to read with someone.
Right.
That I'm not qualified to read with someone who is qualified in their findings. You're telling me I can't read
Right.
someone who found something that's
Because you
qualified
still
and
have
said
to be
this
able
is the
to
results.
evaluate that. Do you understand that one study finding
I
is
don't have
not
to.
definitive proof of anything,
I
right?
don't
So we
have to. I don't have
accumulate
to be the
evidence.
person
We
qualified to
accumulate
understand the
evidence,
statistics of
honey.
somebody else's
And so
understanding.
you have
That's
to. The thing
ridiculous.
is, with number one important thing of a study is, can we replicate your results? And so,
And
unless you understand research
obviously, it has
methodology,
been replicated,
no,
and
it
there's a
has
credible.
not. No,
Obviously, it's been
they publish
okay.
these
Look,
things so you can look them up and say, okay, they did this study. Let me see. This is what I'm thinking. Let me see if I can
you're
expand on
asking
this
me.
study.
You're
What are you
asking
talking
me to
about?
get. You're asking me to get into the minutia of something
It's not
that
the
you're not even
minutia.
qualified in
It's
yourself.
knowing whether or not we can take those results from that study and apply it to the larger society. That's
And
not
this is
minutia.
what. And
That's
this
not
is what
minutia.
the
All right,
University
hold
of
on.
Memphis
All right,
has
everybody,
done.
hold on.
In its
All right,
Institute
hold
mean
on.
that
of
Diva,
Research.
PhD Diva,
every
hold on.
study
PhD Diva,
is
I want to
going
hold
to
on.
have a
Diva,
section.
PhD Diva, hold on. PhD Diva, are you saying that once he read this study, that none of us can actually have a conversation about it because we are not qualified to have the conversation?
I'm saying you can have whatever you want, but you're really not qualified unless you understand research methodology, because you're not going to be able to evaluate what they did in that study and determine whether or not those results are robust or can be generalized to the greater
So
population.
what is the point
Right?
of having a reputable source?
So Diva,
if
so
I have
let
to do
him
my
find let him find the numbers,
That
and then
reputable source was
hold on,
never
Diva,
created
Diva.
for you, sweetie.
So Diva, so let him
My
find the
rep-
numbers,
what?
and then we can figure out if it's
So
if we can
So let me ask,
equate
wait,
it
hold
to
on,
the
hold on.
greater
Let me,
population.
Sharon,
Yes.
is a National Institute for Health and Care Research, is that a reputable source? Is that going to work?
It
What's
sounds
going to
like
work and what's not going to work?
Hey,
We're not
so
talking about sources. We're talking about you being able to evaluate the study,
But
the merits
even if
of
I
the
don't
study.
have that
Just
capability,
that,
the
no.
reason
Oh
why
my
are you
God.
acting like you have to be the jack of all trades to
You
understand
don't have
research
to,
when there are
but you
people?
do have to understand what research methodology is and how it's applied in order to understand whether or not you can take those
I
results with a
don't
grain of
personally
salt.
have to
Yes,
understand
you
that for a
do.
group of people
Because
that
what they're
do.
not telling you in that article that summarizes the study, in every study, there's going to be a section of that study where it talks about the limitations of that study and all of the things that they did wrong, or all
And
of the
even
things that they had to overcome or try to overcome in that study that would keep it from being generalizable to the larger population. And so this is
and
the thing. Y'all
even
don't be
and
understanding
and that's
basic
the
stuff.
problem.
This
You're
is the thing.
you're sitting
We
here and
got the
saying
least
that, but you're not
educated
acknowledging
demographic trying to educate us
First,
on stuff.
did you
I won't stand here and let you do it.
you are being
Omar
no, I'm
Smith,
not trying to no, I'm not trying to educate. I'm not
my
trying to
brother,
educate you on something.
congratulations on the new marriage and the baby to come. If I heard you correctly, my last two is getting old and me and wifey planning. All right.
If I heard again, no one, I'm not trying to educate Sharon. I'm challenging what he's saying. What he said verbatim was, it is not something we should worry about because it's not really that big of a thing. Do you agree with
I
that
didn't say
statement?
that. I didn't say
I know
that.
you didn't. So why exactly? So the point that
But what
I'm
I'm
bringing is,
telling you is
hey,
that
the
study
point
that
that
you
yo,
summarizing, you're
can you
not going to be
come
able
on,
to
man?
counteract him
If
with that.
she just
I
had a
got you.
whole
I got okay.
soliloquy, come on, man.
let me jump in real. Hey,
PhD,
Sharon.
but
The
you got
point-
to allow the other person to please let them get out their
Okay,
full
I'm
thought.
Hey,
better.
Sharon,
Go
let me
ahead.
just
Go
let me
ahead.
jump in real quick.
Kiki, I'm sorry, man. I'm
Because
Garrett-
again,
Garrett-
the point that I was bringing was not against PhD Diva. I said what Sharon said is not true, and I don't think we should say that because she didn't push back on you when you said, "Hey, it's not that big of a deal, and it's not really a thing." That's what you said, and I'm going, wait a minute. We can't say that geriatric pregnancy isn't a thing, and nobody pushed back on it when there's plenty of articles that say it is actually a thing, and there may be factors like race that play a part into it, but it's actually worse for Black women from the things that I'm seeing. And it's
No.
based on research that starts from 1989 to 2019.
So
No,
the thing
that's
is what I
what they
said
took
also
the
before.
data from. But okay, go ahead.
All right,
So
can
the
I?
thing also that I said is that you have to what we learned from the geriatric situations that you need to be healthy. So if you are healthy, is what I said. So I also added that
That's
part
a
in
big
there
if.
because we are talking about because when we start
Do you
talking
want
about
to know what you said actually, or you want to
Yeah.
summarize?
Tell him what he
Because I
said
said-
actually, Kiki.
No, because when we was having the conversation earlier, I said you know people, these women are being healthy. They are healthier. They living longer, and so now when they understand that they have to be healthy to have children after 35. We don't have to worry about geriatric pregnancy as much anymore. We don't have to worry about it because you have to be healthy to have children after a certain age is what we was talking to. So maybe I didn't reiterate it exactly like that again, That is definitely
And
a
that's
possibility.
and
so,
even
but-
still, that's not true because your
Okay.
body naturally deteriorates. I'm sorry, you at 25, the most healthy you can be, versus you at 40 is not the same type of. It's not the same body.
It's not
your
true.
body-
Again, that's not
Hey,
true.
hold on. Can I say something real quick?
So the reason why, yes, you can. The reason why it's not true. Tom Brady, he just ran the 40-yard dash faster than he ran it when he was 20. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It
that's
is what
different
it is.
from having a baby. I'm sure.
I'm just
Anyway,
saying.
anyway.
All I'm saying, I'm
That-
talking to the.
You're
to the
comparing a
deteriorating-
man.
I'm
You're
just talking
comparing
to
a
the-
man
I'm just
running
talking-
versus
I'm just
pregnancy.
saying.
Are we
I'm just saying.
acting
You said
the same?
a body. You said a
crazy.
human being's body deteriorate once he get older, and I'm just saying he is proof that he ran faster at an older age than at a younger age. Is what I'm saying. I want to bring in Ronald, and also we're gonna bring in somebody that Yomogato. Please,
Okay, this is really this is pretty much the facts. Okay, there's a greater chance for a pregnant woman to have pregnancy complications when a woman's in her 40s. That's just the way it is. That's the reason why most OBGYNs would recommend you have your children more when you're in your 20s or 30s.
Well, what's the sample size of your assessment of that?
Right.
Oh, the assessment is
I like that.
My wife is an OBGYN. So I hear so she's in my ear all the time telling me about the women in the 40s.
Ronald, all
and
I'm
the
saying is
complications.
Ronald only did that because the fact of the matter is when you look up the research, they tend to have a similar outcome saying it is more complications the older you get as a woman.
Trust me.
That is a basis. But now if we want to do this every single time, what's your sample size? Then every time somebody. So what's PhD with sample size for the black woman who was able to have more births at her older age than white women when she said that? What's her sample size?
You know what? Okay,
Wait, hold on. I just want to understand it. PhD, but what was your sample size for that?
I told them what it was. I told them I was using anecdotal data.
So you using anecdotal data, but me using data that was provided by somebody else is not good?
Because so y'all are talking about, complications as a woman gets older, but see, and this is the thing why I say a lot of y'all aren't really qualified to have these conversations. Women who are pregnant and having these children in their 40s, who are they having them with? They're typically having them with older men. And older men, the quality of men's sperm degrades as they age, right? And so you see that autism, Downs, and things like that go up as the age of the father increases, right? And look at you looking confused.
Where's your sample size for that?
the same studies that you just cited.
So why do you fight me on something? This is stupid.
Because I can read those studies and know whether or not that study
No, that's not how that works.
Here's
He's gonna have a great show on this.
Hold on.
He's gonna have a great show on this.
I got you. Hold on.
That's not how it works.
Let's get some clarity. Let's get some clarity.
Watch this. No.
Before we move from the pregnancy thing, I just want to know. I just want to have some kind of consensus, and we can have an understanding. Is it a such thing, or possibly a such thing as geriatric sperm? Yes or no?
The quality of sperm degrades. Yes. And
what is your sample size on that?
Okay, before we ask the sample size, before you hold it to that, hey, Lamar, is it
not
a
qualified
such thing?
to speak on this? I need to know the sample size.
Qualified. But you don't even know what to do with the sample size when I tell you. What's the sample size that's gonna make it generalizable, right? So again, we aren't the same, honey.
So
you're
Lamar,
right. You're the one who wants to argue over something that I have proof for, and now all of a sudden
you don't have any proof. You don't even know if you have proof or not.
You're a hypocrite, and I'm somebody that's just trying to say,
all.
Sharon, that doesn't make sense to say that. That's the difference between a hypocrite and somebody playing your game now. So every time you say something that's supposedly factual, if you don't have a sample size, I'm gonna check you on that.
You aren't qualified to check me, baby. You aren't qualified.
I am. Where's your sample size?
We just demonstrated that you are qualified to say the stuff you're saying.
Oh man,
that's the
look.
difference. I can read those studies and know whether or not it's a legit study. You cannot. All you reading is a summary of a study and then come try to tell us something about it. We different, baby. We not the same.
Fucked up in 2024. You sound
Goddamn.
You're right. We're different. I'm on the panel. You're not. Shut up.
Goddamn. D the Degenerate. He says, "Drop Diva. GBG ain't got time for people arguing just to argue." Shout out to the DJ.
That part.
Shit.
That part.
I want to welcome to the stage, Sway producing
And
GBG Untouchable. That is an oxymoron. But Lamar Black Attack, is there a such thing as geriatric sperm?
According to peer-reviewed studies, there is just a decline in our sperm. They don't have no evidence yet that the quality of sperm is different. However, I do want to give a little shout to PhD. Well, she's saying that studies itself can be biased because different races have different options, different response. However, Chika is right. There are certain disorders that is related to age-related pregnancies, period. It may be the man, it may be the woman, but the older you get, the chances are your baby come out with autism or Down syndrome. It's sacred. It does increase. My daughter is in mine.
Don't provoke me to anger, or else you'll be in danger.
Shout out to PH
Hello.
with the cash app. She said, "Don't play with her."
Let me finish. And what I said, acne does matter. But she is saying that the peer-reviewed studies, there are limited studies. But however, there are certain disorders that is how you say it is I said fuck it. So I'm trying to say simple English. There's certain orders that is coupled with age related. For example, Down syndrome and other disorders. Yeah, there is a limit on women's eggs. It expires. Women born with a certain number of eggs, and that's it. But I understand what both sides are saying. I understand what PhD was saying about the studies. They are biased because they don't put us in the studies. They just white people, sorry. And I understand what Chiki is saying, that if he reads the study that's written by me or somebody else, he's qualified to read the study. So I understand both sides of the story.
And Lamar Black, aren't there studies that black women get have more complicated pregnancies than other races?
It because of our diet. So is black men. Our diet is a bad diet. So we're going to have more diabetes, high blood pressure, and all other stuff because we're not eating what we should be eating.
And also another reason is because they don't follow the advice of their doctors. a lot of these women.
Before we move forward, I also want to
About to be a situation.
PhD also has a $40 credit. She ain't playing with you. The women are not playing with y'all.
Bitch ass niggas.
Yeah.
I'm bowing out. Hey, Kasim, it was a joke. Kasim, you're younger than I.
Lamar, no. I'm on my North shit today. Just move along, sir.
I love you,
Okay.
PhD.
The ladies have spoken. They said they want to hear from PhD and your geriatric sperm.
And also, like I was saying,
they saying that it tastes different as well. They could tell it different. They
No,
can taste
it tastes different.
Right.
Oh wow.
No, but Lamar,
So they
okay,
can tell it
question.
tastes different.
uh-oh.
I have a couple of questions, Lamar.
Okay.
Does the sperm concentration decrease in a man's sperm over time?
Yes.
Right. Okay. That's why it takes older men longer to get a woman pregnant. Nevertheless, does the motility of the sperm decrease over time? Come on. One thing about me, baby, is I always know what I'm talking about. Okay. So that's the quality of your sperm.
You sound like world
I said,
class.
quality of a man's sperm degrades as they age. Again.
Basically, it's not good to have babies when you get it over a certain age.
Older age.
That's what we
the
said.
overall consensus.
Yeah, we can blame each other, but
that you find across the board from article to research, the overall consensus is there is a time frame for both men and women, because the argument isn't there a time frame or not. My argument was, Sharon, you can't say geriatric pregnancy isn't a thing, or we shouldn't worry about it's not a big deal, because everything says otherwise. And when I'm making the overall statement or making that overall arching point, the question that comes up is irrelevant to that point because it still doesn't disprove what Sharon said is just wrong.
No, absolutely not. So the problem is that so these women that are over 35, if they keep their bodies healthy and they are planning to have children after the age of 35, they have their diet proper, they have their BMI proper, they eat healthy, they work out, all those things. Those women are clearly having babies.
They're not at risk
They're
at
having
all.
babies well after 35. We got plenty of people that's having babies after. We have people in the chat saying they had their last child at 43, no complications. So we do have examples of it. Also, we got to stop allowing these old men putting this old ass sperm in these old ass eggs as well, because clearly,
hey, stop talking about me.
A part
No.
of the geriatric pregnancy that is happening is also the sperm as well is contributing to it.
Where's the sample size for that, Sharon?
So it's not just the woman in her old age. It's also that old ass sperm that's in that
Why
body
is he
he
not
barely
checking him
uses.
for saying this?
And he's
Check
having
him.
Because no,
sour
because he's
milk in
not
his
quoting a
balls,
study.
and he's
Right.
impregnating these old women, and that's also where the problem is
No.
lying
Check
as
him.
well.
Is what he's saying
Sharon is
factual?
always
Hey,
stating
Zebra.
the exceptions to
Dude,
the rule.
wait.
Always. That's just his
PA
It's a
thing.
Zebra
limit.
is the most
Always.
qualified on the panel. Is what
I
Sharon said
figured it
correct?
out.
Yes or no?
No, she's not. She got
Sharon
a degree in
didn't just
theology.
say anything about a study. This is Sharon's opinion that he was giving, right? And so
Is
if
his,
Sharon
is
brought
his
a
opinion
study
factually
and
based?
tried to walk us through a study, then I'm gonna ask Sharon the same questions I was asking you.
Is okay. So how about
Right.
this? Right? Is 2 million pregnancies enough for a sample size?
Certainly, yes, you're gonna have lots of statistical power. You don't need that many. But
In an
so
analysis of more than 2 million pregnancies, found that babies born to black women worldwide had poorer outcomes, such as baby death and stillborn, than white women. This
Okay.
was true even after controlling for older age and lower level of education amongst mothers, an indicator of poor economic and social status. So if we can extrapolate that point alone, that is just overall worse for black women when it comes to this conversation. Why
no,
in the
but
world
it
would
said that's when you control for advanced age, right? So
it
then that
didn't?
means
It said
no.
age. It said age, and it also said its social economic
Okay.
status.
And so what they're saying when they say when you control for age, they saying across all age groups is worse for black women.
That was my point, and that my point for
But
bringing.
so if you're talking about geriatric pregnancy, that's a specific age group, and so that wouldn't
My
be the case, right?
My point was, I made this to Sharon. I said you shouldn't say that, and it's actually worse for black women if we keep.
Okay. See, you're getting
If
things
you
confused because you said it was worse for black women the effects of geriatric pregnancy, right? Okay. The
Yes.
study,
for
the
the age,
word that you just read.
No, for pregnancy at large. I was talking about pregnancy, just the idea, geriatric and pregnancy at large. Those two
That's not
factors.
what we were talking about, though. We were specifically talking about geriatric pregnancy, and you said it's worse for black women. And the study that you cited was talking about geriatric pregnancy.
Well, the
My
thing is,
point
it could
was,
go hand in hand.
There are
it
a
is
lot of
actually
different
worse.
reasons why it's worse for black women.
So if all
So
women,
my point is,
when they
but
reach,
that's besides the point. The point is, this came after you said, right? Because Sharon did. I didn't come after your attack because they were anecdotal, and you were saying based on my experience. I came after Sharon saying, "Hey, that means we shouldn't worry about geriatric pregnancy, and it's not a big deal." That's not true on all levels, especially for black women, whether it's geriatric pregnancy.
No. But you just said Sharon said we shouldn't worry about geriatric pregnancy, and you said it's worse for black women. That means geriatric pregnancy. So you're
It
not
is.
talking
It's
about
worse for black women and
pregnancy
geriatric pregnancy,
in general.
and it's also worse for women,
We
for
weren't
black
talking
women generally
about
in
pregnancy in
pregnancy.
general. We were specifically talking about geriatric. So we're talking
Okay,
about
fine.
women of a
If
certain
that's
age group. So what you just read would actually contradict the, geriatric pregnancy. It's saying it's worse.
No, it wouldn't. It's worse for black women, according to that study. Also for white,
So
against white women too.
not having to do with age that's causing the issue. That's what the study that blurb you just read, that's what that's telling us.
What it says is even when age is considered, it's still worse for black women than it is for white. That's
what they're saying is that if you have a black woman and a white woman, they're both making $200,000 and they're both 40 years old. A black woman has a harder time getting pregnant than a white woman.
What?
No, that's not what.
That's not what he was saying.
What you said? You said that they accounted for age, race, and social status.
Some
Correct?
of my credit to Drop Sway.
What?
Damn.
Wow.
Hey,
fuck up in 2020. Yo.
What this says is clear. An analysis of more than 2 million pregnancies found that babies born to black women worldwide have poor outcomes, such as baby death and stillborn, than white women. This was true even for controlling for older age and lower level of education amongst mothers. So it's saying even at an older age, it's worse for black women when we start talking about.
That's not what, when you control for something, you eliminate the effect of that variable, right? You control
even with it.
And so they're saying, even when we eliminate the effects of older age, the
Controlling doesn't mean eliminating.
Worse. But see, let me tell you what the problem is. They just said worldwide. So they took a sample. It's a sample size of 2 million women, but it's across the globe. Now, if you think that black women in America are having babies under the same conditions as black women in Australia or Melanesia, then that's an issue. And so in terms of the methodology they use, I would have a hard time, because I'm pretty sure the sample size United States, right? And so I don't know about, I would take those results with a grain of salt. But either way, it's still saying when we eliminate the effect of older age and lower education,
when you control for those
all of those things, right? And so when you eliminate the effect of those. And so we're not talking about geriatric pregnancy. We're talking about pregnancy at all ages for black women. We have worse outcomes than.
So if you're talking about the ages of all black women, would that include the age range of geriatric pregnancy?
Yes, but we don't know what the sample looked like. So it's probably going to be skewed to
my
younger,
point that I brought to Sharon is you shouldn't say this because it's not true, one, and two, come to find out it's actually worse for black women considering the age range, and that's his audience. His audience is black women.
But
no, so here's the problem.
Don't
hold on. So the problem that PZ is saying is that is including all these things. And when we talk, what we was talking about is that you need to be healthy. You need to not allow these goddamn geriatric sperm inside your egg, because if you allow,
that is not what you was talking about.
If you allow
exactly what you said. Matter of fact, here, share the screen, dog. Share the screen, because I came up here because I was like, why would you say that? Just to get met with. Where's your? And it's like, why are we fighting me on something that we know is true?
That's true.
Yeah, it is.
It is not true. So
come on, Sharon.
Hold on. The problem of your truthfulness, you are adding unhealthy people in it. Because I'm talking about healthy.
Why do you keep adding caveats?
Because it's important.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He keep adding shit. What I'm saying is,
correct.
That is not right. And I
healthy
statement. It's the
healthy athlete last year died, 32 years old, a sprinter, Olympic sprinter. He died 32 years old from complications from a pregnancy.
Damn.
Okay.
She had preeclampsia, and she actually went into labor early. She was a young woman.
Yeah, a young woman.
But she was there by herself, and there was an issue with her, if I remember the article I read correctly. So she went into labor by herself, but because she had preeclampsia, it caused her body to do something, and that's why she died.
Right.
She was a young woman, and so that wouldn't support the argument that having babies at a later age is more detrimental for black women, right?
Right, because pregnancy is dangerous no matter what. Pregnancy is just dangerous.
Right.
So
exactly.
But you were saying there's no big deal, Sharon.
So what I'm saying is this: it doesn't. What I'm saying is that so when you get older, if you create your body to be healthier, you can have babies at later. It doesn't take. I'm not saying that takes away for the fact that it is still a very dangerous thing to be pregnant. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what age you are. It's still a very dangerous procedure. Is what I am saying.
I am going to play exactly what was said and why I said this can't be true, because all it takes is a little bit of research to realize that multiple articles, multiple shared universities are going to say the same thing. Geriatric pregnancy is a thing, and it should be. If you can avoid this age range, then avoid it. Instead of PhD fighting on her opinion, she's saying she's fighting me on something because I'm saying, hey, look, there are plenty of articles and there are plenty of men and plenty of researchers who say this thing is true. And now you want to fight me because I don't have a sample size.
So here's I was just asking.
So here's what we'll have to. But this will make your argument. This will make your argument straight. If we was to get a sample size of healthy people past 35, not people that's already have preconditions. So the problem is that all those studies have everybody in it. People that have great health, people that have horrible health, people that are obese, and people that have all these different kind of conditions is in your study. So my problem is what I'm talking to is people that are being healthy and have a healthy lifestyle is different from what you're talking about. You're talking about in totality. In totality, okay, I would have to agree with you. In totality, because pregnancy is just a dangerous thing.
Are you saying even in good health,
that
there is no risk to geriatric pregnancy? Even if a woman's
what I'm saying is that we have proof that women that are healthy, they are having kids at later ages with no complications. Like they having just regular pregnancy complications because they are healthy human beings. A lot of people, what we are having is that they are not healthy and they just having children. And
okay,
then
fine.
Into the
so let's say, wait. Let's say they're healthy. Let's say they're healthy. The outcome is children are still being born underweight.
And let me say something right
Correct.
quick. Let me say something right quick.
That's what he read.
It's not what he read.
Yes.
I put all the links.
Say that.
I put all the links in the back. If you're saying there's a comprehension issue, then by all means, y'all read the links to yourselves, and you can find out whatever you want to find out about it. I'm not going to ask you what's your sample size if it's from a reputable source and they have people to understand that for me. I'm not a fucking researcher. That's
you didn't
fine.
know to ask that question before I asked you.
Yeah,
So,
it
doesn't matter. That's the point. It doesn't matter because there's so many different articles that say the same shit.
General, don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for that trap, General.
Hey, let me jump.
And let's get to 100 likes, people. Let's get to 100 likes.
Yeah, I'm old and wise.
Hold, let me say something.
I see it way before you
Go
go
ahead,
out the
Lamar.
mouth.
Hold on. Let me say something. You can be young and healthy. Not give you a pill like a Tylenol or Benadryl. You can die. It causes side effects.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how young you are, how healthy you are. You can still die. I guess that's the correct word to say it. So I saw young women that had a first pregnancy. They had to be in bed rest for all 9 months. I saw older women like P. Stevens said, 45-year-olds, pop the baby out like popcorn. Pop. It's an individual thing. So what y'all arguing is circular because yes, a young woman can have a baby and I guess die. I guess I'm trying to say the right word. An old woman can pop it out and she'd be okay. But the older, everybody know we have a time limit on our life. Okay, we are going to pass. We are going to die. The older we get, the more bad things can happen to us. Everybody know that, right? That's what Chica's saying.
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like
it. What does happen is that people want to believe that when they get older that they just deteriorate, and so therefore they just quit on fucking life and they don't work out, they don't go for walks, they don't eat properly. They just like, I'm gonna die anyway, so I might as well eat a fucking horrible piece of steak every fucking day. I might as well.
So you just said what I said, right?
You just said what I said. In their mind, they believe. In their mind, they believe that remedial rhetoric that they are just dying. As soon as we are
and they can't live longer than you.
Wait, Lamar.
They believe 100%. They believe 100% that as soon as they are born, they
Lamar,
are dying.
to get a better Lamar.
Nobody want to have no goddamn autonomy and say, no, I am responsible for my health. They just say, hey, I'm dying anyway. I'm past 30.
You can hit my car.
Right here, Lamar. To get a better assessment of what's going on. Sharon, please pull up what I have in the back.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. That's
man.
I think there's a lot of like.
And the reason
as a happy person, I would live longer than y'all.
So there's a professor on YouTube, and actually I watched this years ago, so I don't remember exactly everything he was saying. But there was a professor from MIT. He did this whole series on human behavioral biology. And one thing he talked about, and I was running this on a loop, the shit is about like 12 hours long. So I was falling asleep and waking up and, and so while I was falling asleep and waking up, I woke up to him talking about pregnancy and how like literally the woman's body is being invaded and there's like a fight, and he was saying, somebody mentioned gestational diabetes. And he was saying that actually is a result of the fetus or the embryo or whatever it is having like too much of the father's DNA or something to that effect. But and so in the yeah, I'm telling you, go watch that shit. Because
And you woke up to that after sleeping?
Damn.
I woke up
Exactly,
I was in
Kasim.
and out of sleep.
Exactly, Kasim. You can't make this up, brother.
Damn it, bro. Where's the sample size for this? Like every time.
No. You can pull it up
If we're
on
gonna play this
YouTube.
game, if we're
No.
gonna play this game,
And so
every
I'm
time
telling
he
you
brings
about
up
it.
something that's supposed to be
There's
factual,
you can
I'm gonna have
pull
to
up
do
the
it.
entire series on YouTube. It's called something lecture collection human behavioral biology or something to that effect. And you can watch what he says because like I said, this was years ago I watched it and I was in and out of sleep. So I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but I do remember him saying something about like the father, the embryo having, too much of the father's whatever was what caused gestational diabetes in the
But you guys are
So
challenging
what
me
point
for
of so wait a minute, PhD. So what part of the video did you fall? What part of the video did you fall asleep? Because I want to get the same exact outcome that you got, so I can kind of wake up at the same time at that same point to get the same revelation. So what part of the video did you fall asleep?
Okay, Kasim, you really don't want to do
Yes.
it with me, baby. I'm not the one.
I'm
Yes,
just,
you do.
Okay,
Yes, you do.
right. You don't want to
You
do
gotta
I'm
be
just trying to
careful. She
Okay,
still got
y'all
understand
she
make
still
what
me
you're
got
do
the
it.
doing.
credit. She
So
still
you
got the
don't want to
Get
credit.
his
do
ass, PhD. I can't get him.
Huh?
this is
Get his
ridiculous.
ass.
I
Hey,
can't
He not
believe
even. I
this.
try to respect my
So
elders. I'm gonna leave him alone. You got it, Kasim.
So the reason why I don't want, because it seems like you want to try to hold me to my exact words. That's what you are attempting to do. I don't know what are you trying to play here in the background.
What I'm trying to play
Just say
is,
you made a mistake. You say, I'm sorry.
what I'm trying
I
to
made a
play,
mistake.
what I'm trying to play here is the context and how nobody challenged or said anything, including the most qualified person on the goddamn panel, right? But wants to challenge what I'm saying simply because other people have noticed the exact same thing that I've noticed.
No.
So
And see,
you
this
saying,
is the
hold on,
problem.
make sure.
Let's
I
play
got you,
the
PhD.
video.
I got you, PhD. So you saying that you noticed that geriatric sperm is connecting with geriatric eggs, and that's why
If
we are
that's what you
having
were
a
talking,
situation.
if that's what you were talking about, if that's what you was talking about, but if that's what you was talking about, let's see what you was talking about though.
That's why he's got married younger women, Sharon.
And this is why I was like, wait, why in the world? Why isn't no one challenging him on this? Even the most qualified, smartest
Otis, I saw
person
you laugh,
got
Otis.
up from them
because
all.
because we know it's
Go
no
ahead, play the
study
video,
on,
Faraz,
because
so
we
can
know
see what's going
it's
on.
no study.
Wait. But do
First
you
of all,
not understand the difference? So he was giving his opinion. I was questioning you about the study you were reading to us. There's
there
a
we
difference.
go.
What's his
The
opinion
difference.
factually based on your
Look,
understanding of
this
how?
it's an opinion.
Yeah, you gotta ask
if
me
you
what's my opinion
Don't see
based
the
on.
disingenuous nature of this, right? Let's get to the video, please.
Right, so but we don't need to because we know that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
we don't
yeah.
use-
No,
Well,
hell no.
absolutely we do.
Sharon, why don't you want to play the video though?
because
Yeah, what's up?
because you're gonna use my exact words and it's not fair to use my exact words when we having
No.
a conversation.
Now we're moving on past you now.
Yeah,
Because
we're past that.
PH Diva wants to say it's his opinion and it's and the third. Knowing good
Right.
and well men have given their opinions plenty of times on other panels, including Jay Prince's, and she will fight to the death talking about is that statistically true? And she has a reputation for doing it. Now all of a sudden she don't understand that because it's his opinion. No, we about
Look,
to now.
you
We about to see how
presented a study,
we're about to
and
see
I knew
how
you weren't
hypocritical
qualified to tell
this
us
woman
about that
is
study.
whenever it comes to somebody getting along to go along with her
You're not being fair,
her narrative
PhD,
versus
but
somebody just
Yes,
you know
I
they
am.
not qualified.
So
to
here
do
we
that, but
go.
you
Don't
doing
even worry about it.
I know, but that's what I was telling them. You're
Look
not
at
qualified. I'm gonna ask you about it.
Look at this. Look at this person right here with the big P in pink, right? This person right here, the
Whoa.
smartest of them all, the one who's never wrong, knows what she's talking about. Listen to this man right here say something that is just insane.
The internet is on my side. The internet is on our side.
Oh, you lucky. You don't worry, I can fix it though. You want to know why?
Hey.
God is on my side. Fuck the internet.
You see this baby?
Oh, that's why you said the internet on this side.
I'm getting, hey, Cheeky, I'm getting a little dizzy. You're making the people dizzy. Goddamn. You're making us dizzy.
We could get along better, man.
Get him,
Hell
Cheeky.
yeah, and I think the whole rhetoric of the geriatric pregnancy, I think we need to stop using that as well. Like it's not
No,
that big
it's a
of
real
a thing
thing.
no more. Medicine
It
done
is.
caught up.
The whole rhetoric of getting
It is.
the whole
It is.
rhetoric of geriatric pregnancy shouldn't be addressed anymore. It's not a big thing. Nah, bring it back up. Where'd it go?
So the reason why
Sharon,
so
this
no,
is not
because
like
I want to get
Sharon,
back to that part of the
Sharon.
conversation.
This is
No, I
not
wanna
about
No,
get
don't
back-
clean it up.
It's not on
Before
you.
we move
Leave it
forward.
alone, Sharon. Leave it
Before we
alone,
move
Sharon. It's
forward.
not on you. Leave it alone. It's not on you. PhD, but was his opinion accurate? based off of your big brain and understanding of stats and statistics and everything else, was that opinion accurate and factually based?
Damn, big brain. She got a big
All right.
head.
So an opinion doesn't need to be accurate or factually based. It's your belief or
God
that's
damn.
why it's an
Why
opinion.
didn't
Nevertheless,
you challenge
no,
that?
no, 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 no. Let me finish my answer. Nevertheless, in addition to knowing and being the big brain on statistics and data and all that stuff, I also know the definition of words. And what he said is the rhetoric of geriatric pregnancy. Do you know what the word rhetoric means? It
Yes,
means
I know what it means.
No. It means the undue use or exaggeration of something, right? So that's what it means. So he was saying the undue use or exaggeration of, talking about geriatric pregnancy. We need to stop that.
And he
And
said
so
because
I
it's not a
agree with
big
that.
deal anymore.
It's the undue use of it.
Now
We need
deal
to stop
with it. It's
that.
not a big deal anymore. Deal
No.
with that, please.
I don't need to deal with it. That's his opinion.
General, don't fall for it.
Look,
She will be
this is a
CNN.
Ron, this has nothing to do
She
with you. This is why I said let's play the video.
Don't
Because
fall
you
for
didn't
it.
do anything besides give
Temptation
your opinion.
forever.
But what
Otis.
you're noticing
Temptation
for women,
forever.
especially women that like to play this game, they want to
good.
challenge because they know all of us. Well, why are you
Drop
bringing this
cheeky.
up for?
Don't play.
But instead of her
Yeah.
correcting that idea and correcting the idea of geriatric pregnancy not being a big deal anymore, she goes along to get along because it's fitting her narrative. This is the problem that we have
You
with
getting
women
it
on
now.
the internet.
You getting
I'm
it
just
now.
trying to have a
There you
genuine
go.
conversation.
I don't
and while
have a
I'm
narrative.
trying to be genuine about the conversation and the topic is saying, Sharon, I don't think you should say that because that's not true. Guess what she does? Well, where's your resources? And then she didn't challenge him at all,
Right.
knowing that rhetoric is wrong and dangerous.
No. See, you're mischaracterizing because if you would have just came
What
up here
did you
and
do?
said,
You sat there and said
If
nothing.
you had just come up here and said, Sharon, that's not true. I don't believe that's true. But you pulled out up some summary of the study and tried to read it to us like that was
How am I-
supposed to mean
how am I
something.
supposed
And
to-
so
how
now,
am I
if
supposed to
anytime
prove
you do
something's
that,
not
I'm going
true?
to question you on it. I'm always going to question you if you bring up a study because I know y'all unqualified to
So
read
you're
and interpret
telling
those
me
things.
you're going to question somebody who's going to be aligned
I'm
with truth,
questioning your
but you're
use
not going to
of the
question somebody
study.
who
I'm
puts
questioning
information
your
out there that's
use of
not
the
true.
study. If you came up here with just your opinion, then it would have been your opinion against his. But
And
don't
you
come
would have
up here
challenged
and
that
read
too,
something to
because
me
you've
that
done
I
it
know you have
before.
no idea of what
You're
you're
being
reading.
disingenuous.
Don't
You're
come
being
up here
disingenuous,
reading something
and
to
this
me
is-
when I know you
and
have
this
no
is- and
idea
this
of
is
what
why-
you're talking
and
about.
this-
I'm
and this
always
is
going to
why-
question you on it. So
why
too
didn't you
bad.
question Quran? How do you know what he's talking
Because
about?
he didn't present no damn data. He just said what he thought.
And even with the data, and even with your understanding of the data, is what I said
Nigga.
false.
Nigga.
She's crazy.
And that's the
Even with
thing.
your understanding of data, is what I said false. Yes or no?
I didn't even question that. I questioned your knowledge and ability to read that study and
So
know
you
what the
question
fuck they
something
were
that doesn't
talking
have
about.
anything to do
And
with the
so you're not
information
going to
that
drag
he
me
said what he
into
said was
anything
false.
else. I said what I said. And if you had come up here with just your opinion, it would have been your opinion against his. But don't
Okay,
read
so
something to me
look,
that you have no idea of what you're
Cody,
reading.
big
I'm
dog,
not going to let you.
you must be married or something
New York.
because you obviously know how to
Okay,
deal
it's
with
Brasville,
super
you
chat
slipping right
time.
now,
It's
Brasville.
where
super
the
chat
old
time.
man got it
It's
on a young
super
man because he
chat
already knows.
time.
I've been
It's
married
super
before and
chat
I've dealt with
time.
this before with women, and this is stupid because what she's
Okay.
saying has nothing to do with anything
Okay.
that I'm saying.
Bring
And
the
it
thing
doesn't-
up,
and-
Sharon,
and it
so we can
doesn't
read
say
the super
that
chat.
she understands that
Don't
Okay,
read
go
that
ahead and
super
drop
chat.
cheeky.
Don't
Use
read
the
that super
other
chat.
20 to drop cheeky.
About to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Ah, man.
Hold
And
on. What happened to the one by
Look, I
Brownsville?
can't wait till we all start giving our opinions and she never challenged us
Hold on.
because it's not based
Hold
on facts.
on.
That made my job a lot easier. That
What
makes my
happened to
job
the
a lot
last
easier.
super
Hold on.
chat,
Let's read the
Sharon?
super chats. Hold on.
What happened to the last one?
I
By
got
Brownsville.
He was stepping on that one.
Right. No, we gonna read that. Where's the last one? By Brownsville.
Damn. Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
Get on
Brownsville,
to get
New
on.
York. PH Diva equal prime Mike Tyson on this panel. Wait, where was the one that he said I was handling 7 dudes?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can
He was
find
lying. He was lying.
Brownsville,
You
New
handling
York.
7 dudes, you gotta
PH
be
Diva is
rephrased.
killing 7 dudes right now. Men, step up. They can't do it. Okay, Ed Unchained. I'm with PH Diva. We
Another
know black
simp.
men can't read. Right, the 4th grade reading level, but he want to try to come tell us
Wow.
about study. Okay,
Wait, is
Ed
that your
Unchained.
opinion or is that a fact?
Just
ahead.
let them have
Wow.
their shitty babies. Why care?
Woo, God damn.
Damn.
Is that
Talk
the
about the
last one?
I'm
babies.
with that.
You love
I'm with
kids?
that. I ain't trying to have no kids. So let them people do what they want to do. Fuck us.
Right.
Damn.
Ultimately, that's what it all boils down to.
Don't worry. Every look. Is that an opinion? The fourth grade reading.
Yeah.
I won't challenge it.
Cheeky. P. Steve not playing fair. She not playing
No,
fair.
that is not. That is.
She know
not
about the
an
studies.
opinion. That is
She
not
know
an
about the
opinion.
studies, and I know about the studies. She not playing fair.
Hey, we
Lamar
need
Black-
like
Lamar
we need
Black, I'm
40
not
more
even-
likes. I appreciate y'all. We got 133 watching. Let's get 40 more likes. I appreciate it. This is trying to get to 100 likes. That's what I'm attempting to get to. Thank you and appreciate it. All I'm saying, Chick, is that the reason why I'm calling it remedial rhetoric is because if you are healthy and you are past 35, there's plenty of people that are healthy. They can and will be able to produce babies after 35.
Nobody.
And that's why we can't use that
Yes,
as a.
nobody's
This is why,
disagreeing
and this
with
is why
that,
we
Saran.
can't use it, and this is why we cannot use this as a scare tactic to make women have babies at an earlier age. Is my issue.
Nobody.
Because
Nobody
we,
ever.
but that's how they use it. Like maybe not you, maybe not Kasim, right? Because y'all are very objective people. But most people, when we hear them have these conversations, they use the geriatric pregnancy as a way to force women into having relationships early, into having marriages early,
It should be
into
a
having
thought.
baby boys.
No, Sharon, it should be a thought. You want to have a waterhead baby? Come on.
Say what?
Do you really want to have a waterhead baby? I don't want to get it. It's syphilis. What's that? No, but it is a risk. It is a risk. Okay. The older we get,
But pregnancy period is a risk.
yes, but the older you get, it's a risk. Come on now. It's common sense. My son came out
You would
perfect.
think so.
Yeah, my son come out perfect.
even you
Yes,
think so.
but
It's
he
not
could have came
common.
out with a lot of water in his head. You know, he could have came out with Down syndrome. We
Wait
were
a
scared.
minute. Lamar, I'm pretty sure it's unprofessional for you to do that.
LeVar Black is a character, PhD.
Hold on.
You try to tell that to the medical board when they got you in that damn
I
conference
will.
room with your faking extremes.
It's a character. It's not my real name, so it's a character.
Hold on. Who's
No.
Hold on. What's going on?
You will go down with that.
I made enough money to be okay with that right now. I don't want to brag.
God, that's hilarious.
I'm good.
All right, well, you're going to use a good chunk of that supporting what you got, man. It ain't worth it.
Yeah, it's okay.
A waste of resources.
I'm
so
good.
all I'm saying that like we just need men to stop using these scare tactics to scare women into goddamn earlier relationships, and it's
Why?
it's horrible. I don't know why they
we
keep
don't
using
control women.
It's
Why do
ridiculous.
you think that's a
Where'd that
scare
come
tactic?
from?
Yeah,
Because
we
that's
don't
how
control
they,
women.
the reason why they are definitely trying to use that as a scare tactic, without a doubt, 100%. Every time we had conversations, women, you cannot wait until you after 30 like us men because you're gonna have geriatric pregnancy. So it's best for you to get with a man when you're young, have your babies young, and stay with that man. They are trying to scare these women into commitment.
Okay,
So
let's
let me-
ask
Proving
PhD
that
with
they-
this.
Instead of
If she,
proving they self,
whatever she
instead
say,
of
I would
proving
agree
they
with.
self-worth, instead of proving they self-worth for commitment is the issue.
Ask PhD with
How do y'all
I would
even
agree. Whatever she
discriminate
say, I
in
would
your
agree with.
brain?
What happened? Ask me what?
Hold up. How do
Is
y'all
it
get
good
that
to
in
have a
your
baby at
brain
40 years
that
old?
somebody's trying to scare a woman to do something because somebody's talking about
Hold on, let's
it's
ask the
not
woman.
healthy or safe?
Because the reason how
Hey,
we
true.
know is
Let's
by
ask the
by
woman. Hey,
conversations.
let's ask
The
the woman.
conversation
No, I'm
that
asking
these young
him.
men, so are we
No,
are
ask
we
him. We
saying
not
that
the woman.
these,
He
are
ain't
we
wanted
saying
a
that a
baby.
lot of are we saying that a lot of these men are not attempting to scare and shame women into relationships at an early age? Yes or no?
Ask the
No,
woman.
I don't think that's- I
No,
don't think
who the
that's
fuck
what
says
it
that?
is.
Ask the
Bro,
woman.
that's a
PhD.
woman. Hey, bro, you gotta stop listening to women, man. That's a woman talking.
No,
I'm
It's
I'm
not
listening
women
to
talk.
you.
This is what I
to
hear.
him.
I don't. First of all, I don't even listen or watch any woman's channel.
No, ask PhD.
No, you hear
and
the
I'm gonna
women
take
up
her.
on
I'm
your
gonna take
channels
her.
and in the chat saying this bullshit.
Rephrase. He don't listen to any women's channel when he's busy, but when he's not busy, he's watching women's channel.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely.
Yes,
No,
he is.
no.
Come on, Sharon, bro. Cut the games.
My God.
Hey,
Thank you.
ask
So
PhD.
are we- so
Ask
are we
PhD.
saying-
I'm gonna take her voice.
So when
Hey,
we hear
PhD, is
men
it?
talking, so when we hear men talking, you mean to
I'm
tell me
getting
you
roasted.
never heard them use geriatric pregnancy as one of the excuses why they should have babies earlier? Yes or no?
But that's a legitimate
That's a fact.
excuse. Why
No,
are
That's a
you
legitimate
I
excuse.
just want to
about-
know
Hey,
if that's what they
Sharon.
use. Yes or no?
Sharon.
Yes.
Nobody's
Yeah.
thinking
Okay, so they
about-
use it. So that is why it's a scare tactic.
I want
Instead
my
of saying,
baby to
No.
not
instead of
come out
saying,
with
go
their
ahead,
hand on the
No.
back of
instead
his
of
head.
going ahead.
Truth, you crazy nigga.
Sharon, you actually believe what you're
Here's the
I
saying.
want
problem.
my, I want my damn baby
I
not
need-
to come
hold
out with a
on.
hand on the
I
back
got
of his
you too.
damn head.
Hold on. Here's the problem.
I don't want to give him a handshake from the back.
Hold on. What I'm saying is this. So
No,
nobody
ask PhD. I'm gonna
nobody
take her.
say
I'm gonna take
this.
her advice on it.
Nobody say anything to the men when they get older. They say, "Hey, wait, go ahead, turn 45 and go ahead and have a baby. Start your family at 45." Even though Lamar said it himself that the sperm decreases, so your sperm can also produce with this young child.
You
this
don't
young
need one
woman
good
that
one.
you are trying to date now. That you could produce a child with autism
Who
because of your
said-
sperm.
I got
So
two
what I'm
fast
saying is
swimmers.
this.
Okay, so
we
who up
promoted.
here say
God
had-
damn it! Let me get my full thought out. So what I'm saying is that y'all promoted for women to do it early, but y'all promoted for men to do it later. Is the problem? So that's why it's used as a scare tactic.
Who's y'all? That's what
Hey,
I'm
let's
asking.
ask PhD. Come
No,
on,
no,
y'all
let's
men
not be
talk. Y'all can't have
disingenuous.
babies.
Let's
PhD.
not behave like PhD. Let's understand. We know what he's
Let's
saying.
ask her. Let's
Talking
ask
about-
her.
He's talking about manosphere. He's talking about
Yeah,
red
exactly.
pill guys.
Somebody
This
I
is
don't give a
not,
fuck about.
this is not far fetched.
Can't get boxed.
Again, I don't. Go ahead, Lamar. You got something?
No, I don't want to say it. Let's ask PhD. Is it wise to have a baby after 40? I'm gonna take her word for it. I'm gonna take her word for it. Period. I'm not gonna try to
Yeah,
turn
because
it
their
out.
life is on the line.
I
so,
actually
okay, cool.
answered this
Hold on,
earlier, and I said again, it's an individual thing. I know some women who had it after 40,
Mhm.
and the children are perfectly fine. And then I know the woman I talked about earlier, who had her first at 38 and the second one at 42, and both of those children are
Yep,
autistic.
that's how they're gonna come out looking.
Okay,
Right.
I take her answer for it.
So it
Now,
just depends.
Go
What
to
was
the
the
next one.
answer? Yes or no?
Yep.
Oh, sweetie, I don't think in black and white like a lot of y'all do. Right. That's my
He said, "Should you?" He said, "Should you have it?" That requires.
Them
No,
big
it doesn't.
wide
And I
head
said
ass
it's up to the
babies come running
individual. I
around here.
just
Don't
said
get
it's up
mad
to
at
the
Lamar,
individual.
Lamar, when you said should you do this after 40? What
I'm-
was you
I'm
expecting?
done
What
with
was
this
the
with you, kid.
Don't you
expectation?
get mad at his
Maybe
daddy
I'm
because
wrong.
his daddy head ain't that damn big with that wide head ass baby. Don't say it.
Hey, you know what? Should black men work out? PhD.
Well, it's an individual thing. I think you should,
No,
look
let
at
her
your.
answer that.
I'm gonna
Should
take
black
her
men
answer
work
with
out?
Dustin.
PhD.
I don't give a fuck what black men do.
God damn. Okay,
That's
there you
right.
go.
I like that answer though.
Should
I
black
actually
women
like
work out? PhD.
that.
See, you okay
It's
about
good.
black men? Should black women work out?
Because I'm on the inverse.
I know I should.
I agree with her.
I know what should happen. They should hit the fucking like button. That's what I do. Though I don't know what's the problem. God
Man,
damn it!
I
All
don't-
I'm asking for is simple likes. All I need is 32 likes. Can I please at least 32 likes? I appreciate it. You've been here hanging out with us for more than 20 minutes. Just hit 32 likes. 32 more. Simple. So that's the problem. So truth is love. Cheeky understood what I'm saying. It's a bunch of these men out here repeating remedial rhetoric, regurgitating shit that they heard somebody else said because they said it lovely. And they out here trying to shame women into goddamn relationships, shame women into having marriages, shame
Is that
women
the majority of men?
relationships.
Is that the majority of men?
Yes, it is the
Checkmate,
majority.
because I said it earlier.
It is
Otis,
the
got him.
majority. It's the majority of
You
these.
got him,
cases.
Otis.
Yes.
I know, but don't worry about it. He good.
What you got me on?
I got him.
Having a conversation, somebody having rhetoric and somebody being a bad human being is two completely different things.
What? Your rhetoric is who you are. Why
No,
are you
it's
talking
not.
about shit that ain't you?
No, it's not. So that's the problem. A lot of these people talk about shit that ain't them.
And that's why they fucked up.
That might be why they fucked up, but I don't mean they are bad human
That's
beings.
why they fucked up.
I don't even understand how that even correlate with each other. But go ahead, Ronald.
Okay, all right. That is one manosphere talking point. That is truth, man. It is best to have it. It is best to have your children when it comes to like 40 and under.
That's not
When
a
it comes to the woman.
manosphere talking point.
Well,
Yes,
I
it
hear it on
is.
the man.
That's
That's why I hear it on the
fucking
manosphere.
health, biology.
But it's what I say. I said it's true. It is true. I said that is one
Oh,
talking point that is true.
but that's the problem, Ronnie. You saying it's a manosphere talking point. No, it's the fucking truth.
It is not.
Good
That's
Lord.
what it is.
It is. Yes, it is the
Quran.
truth. Good Lord. You
So
know,
manosphere is not the truth. Stop using it as a fucking front for
So you
every
try-
fucking thing. That's
so you
why
trying
they
to say-
believe that shit.
So you trying to say, okay, so talking points mean it's false? That's what it means?
I said it's not a manosphere talking point. It's the truth. Cheeky
It
is
is the
not
truth.
using it because it's the manosphere talking it. He's
Okay,
speaking
okay.
it because it's the
All right.
fucking truth.
And we agree, man. I don't know why we arguing. When I said manosphere talking point, I meant that is something that you hear in the manosphere, but it is the truth.
Welcome a truth talker at all times, the Trigger Mike Show.
Trigger Mike. Come on, Trigger Mike.
That was
It's about to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Shout
can't
out
be
to
like
Easy
that,
Money
damn.
Jones. He said, "Stand on your average at best talking points, men. Stop."
What's wrong with being
around."
average? Hey, what's wrong with being average? Seriously, what's wrong with
Damn
being
sure
average?
ain't nothing.
Nothing
Nothing
at all.
wrong.
No, today is the first day of Women's History Month, so I need all of y'all to cash at me in honor of Women's
Are you a
History
woman?
Month.
Are you a woman? Sorry.
Shut up, Lamar.
Oh shit.
I need all of y'all to cash at me.
Okay, how much?
So Sharon, let me ask you this: Do you think
$50.
it would be
Not allowed to
reasonable
give other,
if you
not allowed to give
spoke
other
to
women
several,
money
you
that
know,
are
labor, if you spoke to several doctors and asked them, would you recommend women having children after 40? If you think you spoke to several doctors, what do you think the overall answer would be? Honestly,
I think if
great
he was to
question.
say, I think if he said an honest answer, he said most people are not healthy enough to have children after 35.
I just
That's what he
said,
would say.
oh my God.
you think a doctor would say that?
Yes, if he was to answer it honestly, he said people that they are not healthy enough to have children after 35. That's what he
Yo,
would say.
There
I'm
should be
about
an
to
individual
kick
answer
my
though. It
motherfucking
should
computer
be
over.
the individual answer.
I'm about
Yes,
to kick this
Based
shit off
upon
of
their experience, let's say, for instance, a doctor's been in practice for, let's say, 40 years, right? And he's been delivering children for a very, very long time. And you were to sit down and ask him, say, hey, doc, after your 40 years of experience,
yes.
would you recommend that a woman give birth to a child after 40 years old? What do you think he would say?
If he was to answer it honestly, my answer's not going to change. He would say most people are not healthy enough to have children after 35 because people are not being healthy.
Wait, why is
I
the doctor
said,
a he?
You don't
I
think he would say,
said
I
that.
want
All right, it doesn't matter. The doctor, I'm sorry.
so he would say,
That's my first answer.
so
Hold on, I'm
Sharon,
sorry.
Sharon, so you don't believe
That
that
was
he
my
would say,
first
based
answer.
upon
The doctor would
you
say,
don't,
Oh
Sharon,
my
you don't think that he would say, based upon my experience in 40 years and the deliveries that I have done, I would not recommend a woman have a child after 40 years old. You think that he would not say that?
I think if he was to answer it honestly, he would say because most people that he deal with is not healthy enough to do it.
I agree because that was the first thing I said.
So I
Y'all
believe that
all
healthy
lying.
human beings can have it after 35, but most people are not healthy. So now that goes to what True is saying. So that's where it gets dangerous
I'm
for a
gonna
lot of people because
strangle
people are
you,
not
Sharon.
being healthy. So but what I'm saying is that people, when they want to have children in later years, they have to remain
I'm gonna
healthy.
strangle him.
They have to
Y'all
remain
lying.
healthy.
I'm tell you
That's
exactly what the
because
doctor
we are
said.
telling all these
What
people,
would he say, Lamar?
we are telling all these human beings
I'm
that they
gonna
need
strangle.
to create their marriage lifestyles later on in life when you financially this, when you mentally this, and all that happens at 30 and above. And so for that to happen, they got to stay healthy. So they're going to have children much older is what is going to happen because we are promoting it. We are promoting for people to have relationships later in life. So if we are going to promote that, we're going to have to change how we talk to these young people because we are 100% promoting 30 and up relationships. It's just what it is.
Lamar, what do you think that
If
doctor would say after 40 years
you
of
say,
experience and asking, hey,
okay,
would you recommend a woman have a child after 40 years old?
he would give the best age ranges, right? Then because he can't kill the hope, he gonna give the best age ranges. Then he gonna do this however shit. He gonna make money off it. Sorry, medical is a business, right? He gonna say, however, if you want to go along with this, we gotta do a lot of certain tests. We gotta do this test.
Yeah, because they don't
However,
care about
the
you.
doctor, no, the doctor is not honest. Cause see, the doctor not gonna be. He gotta make money. He can't tell this woman you shouldn't have a baby after 40 because it may be that she might, like PhD said, she might have a healthy baby. If she have a healthy baby, then she gonna come back and sue the doctor, right? But I'm saying he gonna give the best scenarios, but healthcare we don't lie, but we say, okay, you want to do this or what?
Shit.
But
You want to do this or what?
It's not to
It's what it
derail it.
comes.
The
It would
healthcare
be not
business
to
is the
have it.
devil.
Yeah.
Wait, but why would the doctor say I would advise, women over 40 not to have babies when the overwhelming majority of those babies are still going to come out healthy and okay. So even for something like Downs, which we know the likelihood increases as we age, even for women over 45, the odds are 1 out of every 30 births that the woman would have a baby with Downs. So while that is much higher than if you are 32, because it's like 1 in 10,000, right? But still, overwhelmingly, the babies, even in the worst case scenario, are going to come here and be healthy.
PhD for 1 in 30. Do you know
Yeah.
that's a lot?
It is, but when we're talking about live births, so for every 30 births, one baby gonna have Downs. Now, relative to the risk or
Damn.
what we would see if it was a
Yeah, I
younger
ain't changed
woman.
that.
Okay, well, don't talk over me. It is a lot more than we would see for a younger woman, but still, in terms of like outcomes, it's still going to be the minority of babies that would have that issue.
Yeah, I know autism is now 1 in 36, so that also has.
Right, but an old daddy increases the risk of that too.
It's because of that geriatric sperm.
Right.
That's why.
She crazy.
It's all because of that geriatric sperm.
So do y'all hear
it's
all
just
this?
safe to say-
Yeah, get them.
Nobody challenged that. That's crazy.
So basically,
Hey,
what we're
Cheeky,
saying is it's safe to
it's nothing
say-
I can do. I need you up here, brother.
Oh, okay. Otis, temptation.
Yeah.
Temptation forever.
Go
Otis
ahead,
says
go ahead, Otis.
Basically, are we basically saying the same thing without this whole hour? But I know we need the content. It's
Exactly.
beautiful. But are we basically saying if you're going to consider having a child over the age of 40, make sure the old man and the older woman is in great shape, so
Correct.
your child can come out
No,
in
no,
much
no,
better
no.
condition.
Like I said from
No,
the
no.
beginning.
That's what I'm
Otis.
saying.
Yeah,
No, it's not. It
from
said
the beginning.
no.
But the reality of the situation, like majority of all 40-year-old men and 40-year-old women, the 40-year-old man got the beer gut, and the 40-year-old woman got whatever she got, her looper or her pooper, whatever you want to call it. The odds are 9 times out of 10, they're not going to be in perfectly good shape to have that child. Correct? We can all agree with that, right?
No, that's
I'm about to be a situation. Hey, hey, hey.
Correct?
no, that's not true.
That is true. Stop it, Lamar. Stop it.
It's not true. It's not.
It is true.
A
The
fat
average- you show me the
obese
average
person can have a
40-year-old
healthy.
now. What's the
a
average
fat
40-year-old body compensation? Come on now.
Listen, brother. A fat obese person can have a healthy baby, and a skinny, muscular, athletic person can have a baby that's not healthy. I'm trying to find the right words.
Disabled.
The older you get,
damn.
the older you get is the greater the risk we talking about.
Okay, can I say? I
Y'all
want
know
to
it's-
protect.
y'all know
You can be
it's-
healthy and have a.
Let's read the
Healthy and
commercial
skinny
break.
is a
Let's
stick.
read the commercial break. God damn it with your waterhead. Go ahead, PhD Diva.
Big Mufasa, if 51% of women over 40 are not healthy enough to give birth, Sharon is making a bad argument. Diva,
Correct.
6% of us make $100,000. Therefore, we all can, right? True. Anybody can make $100,000. It's just up to you. Are you smart enough? Okay. Ed Unchained. My mom had me late 30s. It
I could tell,
explains
Unchained.
everything. You know what? Ed is a mess. But the
Sorry
thing
about
is,
that.
okay, so
So
we're worried about
94% of people in the world aren't smart.
right.
Is
And
that what
so
you said?
Which goes to my point earlier.
we're talking about the risk of these pregnancies, and so women over a certain age shouldn't have babies because there's a 1 in 30 risk that the baby might have Downs. Y'all do realize that for several decades in this country, the risk of a black male going to prison was 1 in 3. So should black women have said, let's not have babies with these jokers? Right, because they offspring gonna be deficient.
She got a PhD in black man hate.
Wait, no,
Shut up,
she doesn't. Stop. Let's not.
Let the woman suffer then. It's fine with me.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Y'all the ones got pushed
Go
the
ahead,
baby
gentlemen.
out.
Bring some light to the conversation. Go ahead, General.
Yeah, I don't think we should be unfair. I just think that if there are no at least some type of source to be given, how can I accept that she's saying 1 out of 36? How can I accept, right? Because let's do
I didn't
this.
say 1 out of 36.
Let's do 1 out of 30 births. 1 out of 30 births lead into what's it called? Down syndrome. if I can't see a stat behind that, and she's saying she's already got a stat behind that, and I can't tell the how many people have been measured, how do we know what she's saying is true? One, because let's just use the same logic.
You
One,
already
and
know
two,
that ain't true.
there are other issues that come with that besides Down syndrome. And that's the point. The point is the overall health of the child is compromised the older you get, whether or not you're healthy or not. It's just the overall health. So if we're going to sit here and say Down syndrome, well, that's not the only thing. Autism, that's not the only thing. What about the child's weight? What about the child's heart? There's other things that come with it. And it just all I'm saying is, all I think we should look at is, instead of saying and telling men and women, hey, you can do this till you get older, just be honest about the conversation. Geriatric pregnancy is a real thing that affects most at a certain age range, regardless of their health, because it doesn't have to necessarily do with your body, but it seems like the outcome of your sperm or other things that don't necessarily have to do with just your body. Because there are athletes that have low sperm count. How do you explain that?
So why we don't say that to what's the man name? He just recently had a baby.
Thank
How old
you.
was he?
Thank you, Truth.
Because that man is not on this panel sitting there saying geriatric pregnancy isn't a thing. You are.
Al Pacino?
Exactly.
All I'm saying is Al Pacino did it.
Did it.
Now you support the cause that they can do it?
Who did he do it with, though?
Did
Who was the incubator? How
So
old
the
was
younger
the
woman?
Stop it.
Checkmate.
That's not
No, that's not a checkmate. So hold on. Why you think it's a checkmate? Why you think it's a checkmate? So that's what we was talking about. So that's why we're saying that it ain't just the woman being geriatric, it's also your sperm being geriatric. So those two combined together is what's making it difficult. So this
That's
is
what
the
we're
problem that
trying
we
to
are
say.
trying to say.
You
That
made
it's
a
not
woman
just-
positive
it ain't
statement.
just
That's
like because
just
y'all
not
act
true.
like the sperm is just gonna live forever, that it don't have no complications. No, the
sperm can lose its potency too. That's
okay.
why.
So stop using this geriatric conversation as is one-sided. It is not one-sided. Some of
The
y'all
man is not dying, though.
y'all niggas sperms
The woman is dying. The baby is messed up. That's the point.
Like,
It is
what are we
one-sided.
making, y'all? What are we making a case
Conversation is
for?
always one-sided.
Yeah, what are we making a case for here? Remember, exceptions versus rules. So, what is the rule? Is the rule that you should strive to have children between in your 20s and early 30s, or is it's okay to have it anytime? What is the exception and what is the rule?
You know where I saw that.
The rule is 20s and early 30s. That's the rule.
Yep, I agree.
Exactly.
PhD, but where you at with it?
I think people should do whatever they want to do.
Oh shit!
Hey.
You got a PhD.
Hey,
and you got a PhD,
bro.
Not a doctor.
I'm gonna
She only answers the question she want to answer, and everything else is pure rhetoric. She would be great on CNN.
Hey, she's a black woman. She can do whatever she wants to.
You get it, Donald. You get it.
You would be a great politician, PhD.
She would.
She would. She'd be an excelling politician.
Vote for me.
The truth is,
it is so crazy. It's so wild how she just gets to weave in and out like that. And it's only because we fuck with you. It's only because we fuck with you that we just let it ride. Because I really want to go crazy on you, but that's why it just don't look good. Okay,
it's hard fact.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you do this. I don't know why smart women do this to men. I just don't get it.
I don't know why they do it to themselves.
Now that's a whole other conversation, but I do agree with that because I rock with PhD. But yeah, she knows what she's doing though. She
know what she's doing, and she want to act like she don't know, and she don't want to challenge it. Oh man, why do they do this? It's so unfair, and it's so not.
Hey, Chicky. Hey, here's the facts. A woman gonna run out. Hold on, check out. A woman gonna run out of eggs when she was born as an embryo. When she was first born, she had a certain many count of eggs. Those eggs gonna run out. Those are facts. So
how
before
many
the
eggs are we born with?
I don't know. Shit.
I believe it's
I don't know. That would
no, I know, it's 4,572 eggs.
Each person. Mm-hmm. Okay, I might have missed that class.
You cracking jokes? I don't know. So you being for real?
The PhD, I'm going to fight that.
I'm expecting you to challenge that if it's wrong.
Because he wasn't for real, and y'all was.
I know it. Because I don't know that, I'm not going to answer it. That's educated people. We don't answer shit we don't know. He said that no, but I said I'm not going to answer that. But
let me read this from Cleveland Clinic. Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic are repeatedly like the most as far as
Racist?
stats concerns. Yeah, you already know that they are the authority on these type of things. They say they call it advanced maternal age. I guess women complain because they call it geriatric pregnancy.
That's right.
So after the age of 35, here are the risks of complications for a woman 35 or older: pregnancy, loss, C-sections, chromosomal conditions such as Down syndrome, miscarriage, congenital disorders, meaning orders they'll get from birth for the rest of their life, high blood pressure, which is preeclampsia, so a higher rate of that, premature birth, low birth weight, stillbirth, birth defects. So this is Cleveland Clinic and Mayo Clinic.
Mhm.
Are we gonna sit here and act like women shouldn't take this seriously and men
Oh,
too?
are we gonna sit here and act like all that stuff don't happen to women under 35? Stop
It
it.
Okay,
doesn't.
cool. Cool.
Prevalent.
Hey, Sugar Mike, it's okay.
Would you like to read that PSA before truth goes?
He's lying.
Brownsville, New York. PhD Diva got the men crying foul now. I always make men cry. That's what I do.
Hey, look, check this out.
When it comes to
I like this
conversation,
I'm okay with what she's saying, okay? I'm okay with what she's saying because they're the ones that's going to go through the problem.
Maybe.
They're the one that's going to pass away.
Maybe.
Okay.
Wait, Trigger Mike, what
That's
you just
fine.
read? Oh, my bad. True.
No, what you about to say, Chief?
What Trigger Mike just read, right? If you could read it one more time for me.
And also make sure you read it. Does that not account for other women as well, under the age as well?
Wait, but we're not saying it doesn't account. That's the problem. The problem isn't that it doesn't account for the women under the age. Is it a higher risk for women older?
Yes.
That's the
Those are
question.
two different things. Why don't y'all
So let me
understand?
ask you this, Sharon. You can give a birth to an autistic child at 25, but is it higher when you do it at 35?
Yes.
How much higher though?
Checkmate.
It don't matter. It's
higher.
higher.
Oh my
God.
Hold on. So what we want to know is, where is the
That's not
data
checkmate.
for that? So you gotta produce the data for that. They gotta say,
I'm
hey,
asking, wait, pause. Sharon, is it fair for you to ask me to produce data when this woman just said 1 out of 30 pregnancies are coming from
With no
autistic?
data.
Shit.
Oh,
Because-
I mean, I could have told you where I got that number from if that's what
No,
you wanted to
I
know.
want to
Nobody
see
asked.
it.
And then
Nobody
give me
asked.
how many people are in the study.
Can we see it, please,
You
PhD?
didn't ask,
Please.
right? Nobody asked that.
I did
That's
ask.
the difference
I'm
between
asking
me and
now.
y'all.
Nobody asked this.
I'm asking now.
Nobody
Didn't
asked
ask
for this.
it when I
asking
when I was
now.
talking about it, right?
Okay, well, guess
I'm
what?
asking
We're
now.
asking for it now, right? And if
Go
you can't
Google it and
produce
find
that, Sharon, don't ask me to produce shit.
Exactly.
She has now started an issue of pettiness based off of a research standard. Instead of
Hey,
us going
guys.
off of anytime she says numbers, men on the pen.
I usually tell you where I get them from. Like when I said the Social Security
And you better
Administration,
ask for
I
how
told
many
you where I
people
got
are
it from.
part of
I ain't gonna lie
Giving
to you. I don't really give a damn what she be saying,
Hey,
so I
bro.
don't even know.
Hey, listen. We don't
I
really
don't
have
give
to.
a shit what she be
We don't
saying.
really have to fight this
I ain't
battle
gonna
because
lie to
you know who they're not gonna do this to. You know who they're not gonna do this to. They're not gonna do it to their gynecologist. All right, they're not gonna do it to the damn obstetrician. They're not gonna do it. Okay, I sat there. My wife,
gynecologist and your
hold on.
obstetrician
My
are
wife had our
typically the same
second
person.
child when she was
Oh
33.
my God.
Our wife had our second child when she was 33, and only had the first one when she was 31, and she was hearing completely different things. She said, "You have low iron because of your age. You are a greater risk of C-section because of your age," and she ended up having to have a C-section. Right?
this,
They're not
Trigger
going to
Mike.
talk this shit
Yep.
to the
Trigger
OB.
Mike, read this, Trigger Mike.
Oh shit, I would.
All these
Man,
babies
they argue
getting pulled out
anybody,
of the
man. Come on,
stomach
we know
instead
this
of out of
already.
the woman's ass.
Can you read
They'll
this?
argue to their OBGYN
I
also.
got you. I
Come
got
on.
you. I worked.
All these
I was
babies
gonna
coming
say,
out the stomach instead of out of the woman's ass.
Hold
That's
on.
a damn
Let's read
shame.
this. Let's read
Let
this.
Mike finish. Let him finish first.
This is a personal statement. I worked. She's the world authority. All right. I worked with kids for 12 years. The majority of the kids had mental delay, and their parents were younger. More and more kids are being born with birth defects from younger parents. So throw everything we said away, y'all.
That's
This
Yeah,
living
because
life.
Cigarette
you-
smoking
Wow.
weed.
So
Higher
what
if
that,
you
what
get
that statement
older.
is saying,
Cigarette smoking
even
weed.
though it's anecdote, what we are saying is that all your data that you say, it is all across the board You have to produce something that says that it's only with this said group.
What school did y'all
Ron,
That's
This team, I didn't start this. Okay, I
Ron,
didn't start
it
it.
said
What school?
advanced-
I want to know.
It said advanced maternal
gonna-
age, which means the prevalence is higher for women. They're basically implying it in the data. 35 year and up, these are the risks you run. This is the risk you run, 35 and up, which means
Right,
it happens
in
to a
real life-
lower degree.
Trigger Mike,
the
in
age
real
of-
life, we see that same data is affecting young people as well. But we need to
No,
know
it-
what is
the
That's not the
possibility.
argument. Oh my God.
that's the argument that we having right now.
No,
No,
you
it's not.
gotta-
No, it's not. No.
Why we still having this conversation, man?
I got fired.
Virus,
You
what are
in
you
here.
talking about?
No.
This
No,
is
nice try, Sharon. Nice
Goddamn.
try. Nice try, Sharon.
Yo, Sharon,
This
why
is
you
why
arguing
men
with people who are
must be
medical
logical.
professionals on the panel?
Who a medical professional?
I don't
You,
understand.
you the
I
medical
got triggered, Mike.
medical
I am.
My wife is OBGYN, and I said the same thing.
Yeah, but you don't
So,
get to
case
be a
closed.
medical professional by proxy, sir. Like, stop.
No, I'm the one. Yo, I'm the one who gets the phone
Bring
calls.
your wife
right?
here and let her talk to us.
I'm the one who gets the phone calls, so I know what I'm talking about.
No.
My wife-
Bring your wife
my
here. Let her
even
explain
said-
it to us.
My wife even said she didn't want to have a baby past 40. Thank you very much. Case
Okay.
closed.
So what?
But also the reason why
hold
on, no, hold on.
Bring your wife, let her tell us.
Hold on. The reason why she don't want to do it is because
sir.
the
She
reason
ain't
why she don't
qualified.
want to do it is because you got geriatric sperm.
Ah, damn, you got
Damn
me.
it.
You got me.
Hold up,
But he's
so
healthy,
hold
though.
on.
No, he's
Yeah,
healthy,
PhD.
though. He's
Hold
healthy,
on. PhD, but so you saying they can't talk about it unless they qualified?
Shut up, Truth.
That's your right now. Yo, like I said, I get the phone calls. I know about C-section and all that stuff, man.
Somebody made PhD, but
You just want to argue to argue.
Right. But listen, it's a fact. It's a fact. I don't need any historical data or anything like that. It's a fact that over the age 35, 40, you are at risk of having issues with your birth. It's a fact.
It's
There's
a
no
fact.
need no conversation, but I like this
It's a
back
good
and
argument.
forth. It's
We've
for
been
life.
talking
It's a
for
good
hours.
argument. It's a good argument. It's a
Somebody
good
caught
argument.
MRM. Somebody
No,
caught
it's not.
MRM.
It is a fact. It's a fact.
It's a
It's a
fact.
good.
You will most likely, it's a fact, you will most likely have issues with your pregnancy over the age of 40, whether it's a male or female, whatever contributing factors you might add into it, it's a fact. It's also a fact that, let's use the Al Pacino scenario. It's a fact that if I'm old, 70-something, with my geriatric sperm and my incubator is 25 years old, most likely that child is going to come out better than the incubator being over the age of 40. That's a fact.
They acting like
We don't know about that baby.
They act
That
like
baby
milk-
might not be okay.
I'm glad
We don't
that
know
you
about
said
that
it.
baby, though.
That
We
means
don't know.
that-
Let him go, Otis. Let him go, Otis.
No, they act like food don't get spoiled.
That's right, Otis. Let's go.
Hold on.
Let's go.
Let
They
him go,
won't drink.
Otis.
They won't drink
Yeah.
spoiled milk.
I see you
but they
laughing
act
because
like baby milk don't spoil.
That's a fact. Now debate that.
So
We don't know about the Al Pacino baby,
So
though.
what we're gonna say as well. So yes, we're gonna concede to that point, but also the inseminator, and if it's an old ass incubator, it's gonna be the same situation as well.
We
That's
not
why-
nobody
that's
here.
why- That's why I believe in age gap baby.
Logical person disagree with that shit.
Look at this dude, bro. I swear to God.
Nobody said.
I know, man. Sharon, you a motherfucker, man. For real.
Man, he got so
Get your
Wrong,
boy,
let
Cassie.
Chris come talk,
bro.
man.
Get your boy, man.
I think I believe it.
You know that ain't true. The incubator cannot be. Yeah, all right, stop it.
Oh,
That's like having a oven from the 50s where you got to put the wood log in. Nah, I need my incubator to be 2024.
Depends on the ass of the incubator. Depends on the ass of the incubator.
Hey, Lamar, show how most of these babies going to look like.
No, he
Hey,
doing it
Lamar, show how
more.
most of these babies going to look like. Let me see what it look like then.
Oh man, them
know what?
waterhead babies.
Oh man, stop that, man. Will you stop that, Lamar?
It called
Man,
encephalitis.
man.
Encephalitis. I can't say it right now because I'm
They're
drinking.
gonna be, and you know what the worst part, Lamar? They're gonna be saying you look just like your daddy. They're gonna tell that baby he look just like his daddy.
Oh my
That's the
God.
fucked up part.
Well, they do
Here
say
we
old
go.
men make your baby come out looking old. Like if you from an old man, your baby come out looking old.
Since y'all want to be disrespectful with the likes, y'all don't want to get us to 100 likes for whatever reason, even though I know y'all enjoying the show. PhD, I think we cooked them up something nice. We cooked up a beautiful a stew that we had.
Right, they're gonna be stewing all day.
Oh man. I want to thank
fire.
everybody for showing up, hanging out with us. I appreciate every last body. You know, we are the solution-based gang. We here to rebel against remedial rhetoric every single day of the week. We stayed on task today, without a doubt. We did not derail. That was awesome. We'll see you again tomorrow, later on today. I'm not sure. We will figure it out. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way out because y'all don't want to hit it on the way in for whatever reason. So, you know, do that. Make sure you hit some comments after the show's over because that helps as well. So thank y'all. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you go hit the goddamn shop, pick up a hoodie, a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a hat. Anything helps. I thank you and I appreciate y'all. See y'all later on.